Hello, hello. On today's show, I'm going to talk about Silo and the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantomania finally. Mike shows us round 2 winners, round 3 matchups, and he's got some robots, and none of them are Wally. And believe it or not, Pat has a 70-year-old action figure on the horizon. Welcome to your favorite live streaming, whatnotting podcast, Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space. I am your 4th or 5th favorite podcasting host, Kevin, and I'm not alone. I've got all the people that are higher on the ladder than me with me today. You want to say, hey, Patrick?
Hey, I don't know about how high. Morning, everyone.
And of course, what's up, Mike?
Hey, what's up, guys? Looking down on everyone here. Oh, but actually, I'm not. I'm looking up on everyone. See, it's like the Brady Bunch right there.
Yeah.
Oh, that is funny.
You look up like this, and then look up like this. That's so stupid.
Oh, like I said right before we started the show, this is going to be a heck of a show because I'm already giggling. My mouth is going to be sore as heck. Anyway, happy Memorial Day weekend. Public service announcement from a couple vets in the room. If you want to thank a vet, there's no inappropriate time to do that, but that's not what Memorial Day is for. So just to clear that up, we're remembering those who paid the ultimate price in service of our country this weekend. Like I said, there's never a wrong time to thank a vet, but if you're doing it for Memorial Day reasons, that is not the right holiday. Just pissy. Yeah.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah, thanks. All right. I don't have anything to say before we get rolling. I usually do. I was searching my files there, if you couldn't tell. I don't have anything to say. You want to just get rolling right into the start here. I usually have something going on beforehand, so that's why I kind of paused, because I'm like, I can't believe I don't have anything to say before we get into the first one. Did you guys have anything?
We can just announce the Scruffles pack prize package has been shipped.
Yes. Yeah.
Packed up and shipped out. So it'll be exciting to hear.
Technically, I have to full disclosure here. Mike, well, I did the duty of getting everything. Mike did the duty of packing everything up. But the reason I didn't mention is because I haven't actually. I'm going to ship it after the show this morning.
Okay.
But it is ready to go. And as soon as I ship it, I'm going to send a message out to Legends. Hopefully he blesses us with a good pick. Like we got that we can share on the show.
Yep.
Hello, Mom.
Hello.
All right. Pat, did you have anything?
No, I'm good. Let's get into some combat.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. All right.
All right.
Yes.
Remember delays.
Okay, so here, to make sure we get it straight right out the bat, you're not going to say the title until after Patrick and I react, and obviously you can count on mine being the loud one, probably. So but that's when you're going to read the title, so the podcasters can hear it. Or the
and I can honestly say you're going to be reacting a lot.
I already know. Well, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to really have a bad day about one thing in particular. So
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, I tell you, yeah, exactly, Karen. Oh man, I forgot to give Karen a shout out again too. Karen, I'm sorry I keep failing you. Go ahead, buzz me. But Karen's with us here today too. She's blessing us again. She's not on the screen, so yeah, exactly. So, you know how I tell you guys that I don't read the comments on the voting on Cover Combat,
right?
But I had them read to me today, and I was like, "What? Why did it tell me that?" I mean, not yet, not today, yesterday. So anyway, all right, what we got?
Did you add that screen? Share the screen because I'm already.
I just did. You're good to go.
All right. So, all right. First matchup. We've got Ep24. Oh, let me. Sorry.
For the podcast listeners, this is Cover Combat 4, round 2.
Correct.
Winners we're revealing now. Yeah, gotcha.
So we've got Ep24 from Bill Sienkiewicz versus Kevin's least favorite, World's Finest number 5, Francisco Mattina. Not least favorite, it's one of his.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, because I definitely have more of a bitter taste in my mouth for the red gelatin cover more than this one at this point.
Right.
We'll get there though, I'm sure.
All right.
But man, I really, I hope. How many? You said Patrick gave us a wrap up after last round of Cover Combat last week, and I think you said Sienkiewicz had 2 left.
Yes, he has 2 in this round right here.
I'm rooting for the underdogs, which would be Sienkiewicz and Bushima this round. So I'm going with Elektra on this one. How about you, Pat?
Yeah, I'm Elektra all the way here.
Mike?
Yeah, I was the World's Finest.
Oh, okay.
All right. The winner had 60% of the vote, so wasn't too far off.
Yeah, that's not too bad, but yeah, it's
all right. Let's see if this is in my favor or in your favor.
Whoa!
Yes,
there it is. Elektra
nice.
Moves on.
All right, Mike, we're already correcting ourselves. You need to wait for my reaction and the audience's reaction. And then once the audience is done, say who won. Who won, Mike?
Yeah, Ep24.
Very nice.
Bill Sienkiewicz. I forgot the audience was here. I didn't see them out there.
Yeah. Awesome. That makes me very happy. Good job, Elektra.
Yeah. I'm happy. Yeah, I liked the Mattina one. I voted for that one. But I agree. I like the fact that Sienkiewicz is kind of the underdog here.
Yeah.
So I was glad to see him move on.
Awesome. All right.
All right.
Oh, I just have to give a little shout out too before we go any further. Patrick, that was a ridiculously awesome last post you did for Cover Combat. Would you post that Thursday or Wednesday or something where the rockin' music and the spinning titles and coming at you? And that was sick.
Yeah, well, that's TikTok. Just when you think you've learned how to maneuver an app or something, they go ahead and change things. And it happened 2 weeks ago. They changed things, and I was like so frustrated. But I found a workaround.
Nice.
The transitions are sort of forced upon you, but I thought it looked pretty cool. So.
I thought it looked awesome. Yeah, it was definitely my favorite. I definitely bragged to the family about how awesome it was, showing everybody. So great job. You saw it, right, Mike?
Oh, absolutely. Loved it. Yep.
All right. Sorry for the interruption. Continue.
That's all right. Here we go. Amazing Spider-Man 316 from Todd McFarlane versus Spawn 150 from Jim Lee.
So obviously I made a final choice on this.
Mm-hmm.
And I went with 316, but I'm not going to be distressed at all, no matter which way it goes, because it was super. I was, I had a gun to my head. I was forced to make a choice, but I could have gone either way, depending on what minute I made my final choice. How about you, Patrick?
Yeah, it's kind of the same way.
Yeah. Mike?
Yeah, I like them both, but I really like the Amazing Spider-Man a lot better. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it was easy. This one was easy for me.
Gotcha.
I think last week when we talked about this matchup, I knew right away what I was going to do.
Okay.
That's how much I like that Spider-Man.
Gotcha.
The winning cover got 73% of the vote.
Oh, wow.
So this was very lopsided.
Huh. Okay. All right.
Everyone has their favorites here. The winner is...
Wow. I'm shocked.
Yeah. You saw that right. Amazing Spider-Man 316.
Yeah, that's with it being lopsided, that's surprising. But yeah, like I said, I'm not sad about it. That's for sure. Yeah. Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it's just such a classic cover. Anyway, I can stare at it all day, but I'm not gonna.
Do you like this one better than 300 at this point? Because 300's been played out so much for you, you said?
Yeah, I like this better than 300.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I like 301 better than 300.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, it's got him, I like the black costume, but it was such a great, way to put him in, bring back the blue and red. So, yeah, I like 301.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Next up, we have War of the Bounty Hunters by Clayton Crane versus Spawn 318, Todd McFarlane.
All right. This was kind of the same way for me on this one. I'm not going to be upset either way on this one. But I don't particularly care for either one of these specifically. That's what they're both kind of low bars for me. That equal low bars for me on this one.
Wow.
What do you say? What do you say, Pat?
I think these are both great.
Yeah, the Spawn cover, it's very different from a lot of McFarlane's covers, so that actually helped my opinion on this one.
Okay, is that what got your vote then?
Yeah, it's kind of a calm Spawn cover. He's just standing there over the city, where a lot of them is just this crazy close up coming at you, intense action.
Yeah. Well, Boba Fett's doing something different on the cover. He's just standing by his ship.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. The winner here had 60% of the vote. So this one's a little bit closer.
Okay.
Than that Spider-Man. And the winner, there you have it. Yay. All right.
Who do we have?
War of the Bounty Hunters, number 9. Or I'm sorry. I'm all the
War of the Bounty Hunters Alpha.
Right, yeah. The studio audience got me going there.
Well, this is the one I picked, so I guess I'm happy. But yeah.
All right. Yeah, this one, I mean, it's good, but like you said, there's not a lot of action on this cover.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this just yeah. Uh-oh, okay.
All right, next
Here
up,
we go. Here we go.
This one, this one's on your radar. Wonder Woman 759 from Jim Lee versus Deathstroke 32, Francisco Mattina. What did you call this? The
red gelatin cover.
Red gelatin cover.
I actually had someone in my house, unprompted by me, before they'd ever heard me call this the red gel, criticize this for that look that I keep calling it, of course, because unfortunately not everyone in my house watches every single episode, which that's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, she never heard me say anything about this cover before. And she actually came to me and she goes, you know, I really like this one. Isn't this awesome? I was like, God dang it.
Yeah. That's funny.
I was like, no, it's not. And you just outed yourself. You didn't see last week's episode. What'd you vote for on this, Pat?
You know, it's Matina, so kind of tips my hand a little bit there.
I already predicted that to my family last night, actually.
Yeah.
I'm starting the predictions because we're gonna do that at the end of Cover Combat. Before we reveal, right? We're gonna do our predictions, or didn't we say we're gonna do that this round?
Our predictions for what?
Who has what artist?
Oh yeah, you guys are. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right.
Who'd you pick here, Mike?
I like Jello.
So you picked Martina here as well?
Yeah, I have this book. When these were coming out.
Yeah, I know you mentioned that before, but come on, Jim Lee, classic Wonder Woman. Are you serious?
It is a really good. It was a close one. It is a really good Wonder Woman, and good Jim Lee.
I'm obviously the only sensible old school fella in this round. So okay, fine.
I mean, you've got Batman,
JK. I know. I'm just kidding.
And
And once again, this isn't a horrible Matina cover. I'm just finding ways to critique these things. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, the winner had 60% of the vote. Again,
pretty close.
There were a lot with 60% wins. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No.
All right.
Oh man, I'm serious.
Deathstroke 32 is moving on.
Seems like we have more female voters in our voting pool too, so I figured that would be an advantage here as well. But oh well.
Yep.
R.I.P. Wonder Woman.
Yep. R.I.P.
Red Johnson, just Deathstroke moves on. Got it.
All right. Next up, we have Spider-Geddon #1 from Clayton Crane versus Batman One Bad Day Bane from Jim Lee. And this one was lopsided, 73%.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Don't you guys feel like you can kind of predict which cover is going to win based on how lopsided it is as well?
Usually.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one it was a lock for me.
Oh, geez. Which ones were we talking about last week where you guys said I picked this the way you'd think and that we got that open?
I don't even remember.
Was this one of them? No, this wasn't one of them.
No.
All right.
Anyway, oh, geez. Okay. I'm worried about that, Mike.
All right, here we go.
Yes.
There's your winner. It seems like the studio audience is on.
Who's moving on, Mike?
Huh?
What cover one? You're supposed to say that after the audience is done.
Yeah, I know. I had a thought in between though.
Okay.
So it's Spider-Geddon #1 from Clayton Crane.
Okay.
I was gonna say it seems like Kevin's got the studio audience in his back pocket. He cheers.
Seems like I do today. Yeah.
When he boos, they boo. They're on the.
Right. We are tracking today. We are tracking.
All right, next up, let's see what we have here. We've got Spider-Man 2099 #5 from Francisco Matina versus Wolverine #1 from John Bashima. And the winner here, 60% of the vote again. So this one's close.
Well, I think I know who me and Mike voted for. Pat, who'd you vote for?
It's another Matina cover. He's not getting many of my votes, Kevin. Let's just
okay.
Sorry.
It's like you posted or you commented on our last week's video when we asked the question about voting against your own covers, and you're like, I think so, and it happened that round, huh?
Yeah, it did. Yes.
That's funny. All right, let's rip this Band-Aid off.
All right, here we go. There it is.
Ah, dagger to the heart.
Oh, the audience. Oh, no. So the winner, Spider-Man 2099, number 5.
Oh, geez. R.I.P. Buscema.
Yeah.
Well, not literally.
Well, literally.
Well, literally, too.
Well, not what that was like a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
It's not like recently. I guess, yeah. Rest in peace, John Buscema, but not today. Yeah, right.
That also
when did he pass?
15, 20 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Was it in the 2000s? I thought it was the 90s, but
it may have been.
Oh, man.
But that also means an entrant has been eliminated. So,
yeah.
Yep. No more John.
Well, not necessarily. I take that back.
Well, we have the Crane factor.
Yeah.
You never know.
They may have a wild card left. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's the silver lining on adding.
Yeah.
It is. Congratulations, Mike. Congratulations. It's not only a silver lining for the audience rooting for their favorite Xcellar group member, but also when we start to kind of calculate who's got what artists, then you no one knows that. There's no way to predict. Well, I guess you could out yourself on that too, but technically there's no way to predict that as far as submission person is concerned, so yeah.
Yeah. Well said.
Oh man, I thought we hated this cover. There's I can't, I'm not gonna curse. It's backward. He can't be looking at himself in a reflection. Wait, he can't be coming through a reflection that he's in. That's what I meant to say.
Well, maybe it's not really a reflection like a mirror, it's glass. And when you look at broken glass, it shows you different angles of what's behind it.
No, I'm not buying it. I still hate it. Pat convinced me to hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, I could. I thought you were onto something there. For the one to his, would be Spider-Man's left, but the other one is his back. Crouching with his hands down.
Yeah.
So that theory's blown. Sorry, Mike.
Oh yeah, actually, none of them are a reflection of them. They're all just different poses.
Yeah.
You know what else it is?
Pose from different angles. No, it's not.
It's a missed opportunity. It could have been a bunch of other characters. That's what I heard.
Right. That's sort of what I was getting at. Yeah.
Well, it's moving on either way. So
yeah.
Yes.
Pick on it next week too.
Dadgummit.
Oh yes. Shortly we'll be seeing the matchup.
Yeah.
I did these last night and I don't even remember the matchup for this one.
Well, that's good for you.
I'm just excited as you guys to see the
good.
I don't want to make jokes about forgetfulness, but this is exciting.
Yeah. One-time forgetfulness is helpful. Oh man. Oh geez.
All right. For those listeners that aren't viewing, I just put up the next one, which is Lost Universe number 2, Bill Sienkiewicz versus Hulk 340, Todd McFarlane. Would you say this is your favorite McFarlane cover ever?
I actually hazard to say this is my favorite cover ever.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got obviously McFarlane. It's got obviously Wolverine, and I mean, it's awesome in general too. So I mean, how can because my family actually asked me that last night, and that's where I was like, you know what? I think, first thought, is that it's probably just my favorite cover ever, So yeah.
All right.
Well, what about you? What happened here? What'd you vote for, Pat?
I had to go with that Hulk cover. Just too classic.
Awesome. Mike?
Yeah, I went with the Hulk cover.
Okay.
Not trying Well, the winner here got 67% of the vote, though.
Oh, geez.
This one was a little bit more lopsided than the
This is
other.
a toss up, though. I mean, it's kind of an odd, Sienkiewicz cover, and okay.
Well, I mean, when Cora was looking at these, she saw that Lost Universe, and she said it's absolutely beautiful cover. She was in love with that cover. So I can definitely see where it would get votes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Hey, update. My mom's on the way to a picnic. For the listeners, we just got a comment shared across the screen. My mom is checking out. She had to go to a picnic with her church, and not only we got a note that it's a picnic with her church, and where the location. It's in Southern Ohio. Okay, so she has to leave. So she loves us, and she'll see us next week. That's my mom, my lovely mother's way of saying goodbye.
Right. Have fun.
It's like, remember that, and I'm still seeing it occasionally on Facebook whenever people that are a little bit more blessed with a lot of years will send, like, they'll make a post to somebody. Hey, I just wanted to see, and it's a post, rather than just sending a message,
Right. Yeah.
Anyway.
It's like, everybody else can see this too.
Yeah, right.
All right. Enough drag. You're
I know. Don't break my heart. I'm trying to
inevitable.
delay you breaking my heart again. Right. All right, Mike.
All right. Well, here goes.
Oh, sweet. Come on, studio audience. What's up?
Where's the audience?
Where's my studio audience reaction? Okay.
I think Karen's on her way to a picnic in Southern Ohio. There she is.
Oh, man, I am going to breathe a sigh of relief right now.
That's Hulk 340 for the win, in case you didn't know. In case you couldn't tell.
This is the one I thought that was, revealed to me last night. So I'm so happy. I thought this was gone. So awesome.
Yeah. There were a lot of last minute offline voting.
That's what I said in response when I was given a little bit of a spoiler. I was like, listen, there's a lot of us that just direct vote you can't see. So don't count your chickens.
And that's the way I like it, because it could be going one way online.
Yeah.
But we gather votes personally as well. So it's
so that's good, and that makes more just to let all the voters that vote online on the Facebook post, don't make any assumptions because of what you see on the comments, because there's a lot of stuff you're not seeing. But then on the other side, don't make assumptions in a positive way either. Like, it's the old adage about voting, don't ever assume it's in the bag and not think it's important to vote. And don't ever assume you lost so you don't think your vote matters. Just vote.
Yep.
Vote for politics and cover combat. It's important in each.
Important, yeah. All right, let's get on to the next one. We've got some.
Man, where's Johnny on this? Man, to get his excitement with this, making 340, making it to the third round. Awesomeness.
Great.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. All I have to say is, man, I'd hate to go up against that cover.
Yeah, I sure hope you're right.
It's funny at the very beginning when I see all these. It's like, I'm voting for that one on every matchup. Certain. Not saying 340 is the cover like that falls into that category probably, but just saying.
Well, obviously, I tip my. Obviously, it's gonna be my vote every single time. That. So
What's your single most favorite cover ever?
Right. Yeah. Unless something comes out of nowhere that I haven't seen,
Yeah. Some of these Venom covers you haven't seen. Clayton Crane stuff. All right. Well, we've all seen these two. What's that?
I pointed this out to my family last night too. I'm like, did you notice it's my screen, say whatever you call it, my profile pic on StreamYard. So that's my pick for a reason, So
yep. All right,
anyway.
Next up, we have Amazing Spider-Man 293 from Mike Zeck versus X-Men Annual #1 from Jim Lee.
All right, what's the stats on this one?
This one was really close.
Oh,
53% of the vote.
Yeah, I got some unique feedback from a lot of people on this battle. Yeah, it was interesting. And it was partially what you pointed out already, Pat, too, that it's interesting that this is obviously an Amazing Spider-Man cover, but Spider-Man's not on it, and it's a character that most casual, fans of our genre would not even know,
Yeah.
So it's interesting that people are still appreciating how great it is, So
Yep. And then that X-Men is right there, and not everybody, but a vast majority. This is when they were hitting their stride.
Yeah, you know what? I got a unique not complaint, but critique of the X-Men cover. You want to guess what it is from? Let's say this person, without outing them, is a not a fan of our genre, really.
Too much yellow and blue.
Good call, Pat. Not the yellow, but yeah, too much blue. It's like
blue.
Yeah. It was like, it just bleeds together. I can't really make heads or tails. I don't know these people, and everybody's blue.
Well, maybe they picked blue so Beast wouldn't feel left out.
Right. That's a good point.
No fair, guys.
I ultimately went X-Men on this. How about you, Pat?
No, I did not go with the X-Men on this.
Wait, I think I did. It was so close. I could be wrong, actually. It was so close. I could be wrong. I think it's X-Men, but if Mike corrected me, I wouldn't doubt it. Mike, what'd you pick?
I can look. I picked Amazing Spider-Man. This falls into that same category that I'll vote for this cover every time.
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding, but I'm not.
You're not okay. Okay. No. Do you guys have are you off the top of your head without wasting too much time, so the people listening to the podcast don't check out? What's your favorite cover, Pat? Go. Of all time, ever.
Oh, I can't answer that.
Mike, can you?
I would probably say Batman 417.
Okay.
And it's a Mike
I know you love
cover
that
as
one.
well. Yeah. And that's all sentimental, reasons and all that. And it's that's probably one of them. But man, yeah, I've got 13,000 books. Patrick probably has like 33,000 books.
Right. Yeah, I know it's tough, yeah.
Yeah. But it's hard to pick just one.
Right.
All right, let's get to the winner here, right?
Yep.
This was tied for the closest matchup. The winner got 53%. Here we go.
Wow.
There it is. Amazing Spider-Man. What? This audience, we all three voted for, Kevin did. I don't know.
Did I vote for it?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Yeah, we all three voted for this one.
What one again, Mike? I don't think the podcasters could hear me.
Amazing Spider-Man 293 by Mike Zeck.
Gotcha. Awesome cover.
Yep.
When's Craven coming to a household near you too? Has anybody got the latest scuttlebutt on that?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit last week. There's a trailer out there that they haven't made it public yet. They showed it to like the investors or something.
Okay.
All right. Next up, look at this back-to-back Mike Zecks. Captain America 332 from Mike Zeck versus Marvel Age 90 from Todd McFarlane. Yep, that's what I thought.
Yeah. This was one of the equally underwhelming matches for me. And I will say though, Pat, you've influenced me. You've made me move a little bit further away from this Cap cover than I used to be. I used to I mean, it's obviously still iconic, but as far as my enjoyment of it a little bit, I'm like, yeah, Pat, maybe you're right, so
Sorry.
That's okay. As we were just discussing, I need reason to drop some covers off my top 10, so anyway.
Yeah, this one, like the previous one, 53% of the vote went to the winner.
Oh, yeah, close.
these two last matchups were the closest of the week.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
There's our winner. Obviously, the studio audience voted for the winner, Marvel Age 90 from Todd McFarlane.
nice. Yeah, either way for me on that one, so that's good. That's fine. Yeah. Marvel. Todd's got quite a few moving on here.
Yeah, Todd's doing pretty good. Next up, Spawn 284 from Francisco Matina versus Modern Warfare 2 Ghost. Number 1. There's a lot going on in that title. By Jim Lee.
It's Jim Lee's last chance.
Yep. All right.
Incidentally, I had this book for sale on my Whatnot show, the Spawn book on my Whatnot show, the Virgin, actually, the no trade dress.
Oh, wow.
Variant for sale on my show, and it did not sell, so I'll probably have it on my next show too. So anyway, small plug there. Anyway, go ahead.
Right. This one, not the biggest blowout, but very close. 73% of the vote went to the winner. So
that's a little. I cannot predict from that.
Yeah, people have their. This was really. Let me just get to it. I don't even know what I'm saying. I've been talking too long. Here we go. There it is. Can you guys see it? Francisco Matina. You already reacted. So
I'm sorry, Mike. Yeah,
It's like a double reaction.
Yeah.
Spawn 284 from Francisco Matina.
I'm happy about this. I didn't realize I'd be so happy. I didn't think I would be, but I am happy actually. Yeah, I mean, I think I said this is my favorite Matina cover that was submitted.
Yeah,
and obviously Spawn's my boy, so it's great. Good job.
Yeah, there's more green on that cover than there is on an Incredible Hulk cover.
Yeah.
That's like anyway. Say that's like the Hulk at Halloween, dressed up as Spawn. He looks huge.
Hey, Pat, that reminds me, I wanted to ask you, did you notice my show quotes on the website?
I did not.
Mike didn't either. So I actually moved it up because I had it at the very bottom because it's a show quote.
Yeah.
But Mike didn't notice it either. I put a quote. I put my favorite quote from every show up every week as well.
Okay.
So I moved it up to right after and everything else on the website. So hopefully you guys will notice it now. But
right.
Anyway, that's probably going to make a quote. This is Incredible Hulk dressed up as Spawn, probably.
Right. All right, back to back quotes of the week. I'll be like, quote of the week champion. Now that I'm tracking it, I'm 2-0, maybe. All right, speaking of the Hulk, let's move on to our next matchup. We have Hulk 345 from Todd McFarlane versus Kevin's favorite, Flash 38 from Francisco Matina.
The ugly faces matchup.
Nice.
It is across the board.
Okay, we know I voted for Hulk. What say you, Pat? Dadgummit.
Like a broken record here, but you should have asked me that last matchup. You would have got a different answer.
That was the one you were talking about in your quote, huh? Anyway.
Yeah.
Mike, what'd you do? Mike, don't tell me.
I won't tell you. Okay. The winner.
Don't tell me. Tell me, Mike. Tell me. I want to know.
I voted for the Flash because I have issues with. I like McFarlane's Hulk, but it's just his head on this one.
This is your favorite. This is your favorite Frankenstein-looking Hulk. You love Frankenstein.
I do, but Hulk isn't Frankenstein.
But that's the look he was going for here.
Was he?
Can you change the vote? If we change your vote, is that going to change the outcome of this?
Well, and Mark's like, oh yeah, the funny-headed Hulk. That's what he said when he voted on these.
He is funny headed. I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Here we go then.
So this one, I mean, one of us is going to be right. One of us is going to be wrong.
Yeah.
67% of the vote went to the winner here. So this one
does not help at all. Yeah.
This was a pretty well decided victory for the Flash. I guess people like to see heroes fighting villains, not
what one, Mike?
Trade dress. Oh, Flash. The Flash 38 from Francisco Mattina.
I've lost the audience. I've lost the audience. That's for sure.
You have. On to my joke. I guess people would rather see heroes fight villains than heroes fight the trade dress of their own comic book.
We've talked about how we love that though so much.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Now,
all right, I get to pick on this Flash cover another week. Sorry.
If Flash was grabbing the trade dress and hitting Captain Cold with that would.
There you go.
As long as Flash's face was fixed, I'd be fine with that.
I'm not saying Patrick needs to kind of fix Flash's face on this for Kevin, but that would be funny.
Okay. That would be funny.
All right. Here we go. Let's get on to the last matchup of the week. Everybody's favorite villain to talk smack on. It's not villain anymore, I guess. Venom. So we have Venom, the End #1 from Clayton Crane versus Venom #1 from Clayton Crane.
That's awesome, first of all. Second of all, what is his current status? Is he a good guy or bad guy? He's a good guy, right?
I don't even know who he is anymore. Tyler's reading it. Yeah. Because I don't even think Eddie Brock is Venom. I think Dylan Brock has taken over as Venom, or there's just all kinds of crazy business going on.
Tyler, make sure when you watch this video or listen to this video, you comment whether Venom is a good guy or bad guy currently in continuity. A little piece of cool info, or at least it was cool to me, Pat. Maybe I talked to Mike about this already. They have homage covers for this Clayton Crane cover. Have you seen those?
Which one?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, the beach towel.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I didn't think. Apparently, this is a popular enough cover. There's homages to this, so yeah.
By Clayton Crane himself?
No, by other artists.
Well, explain the one you described to me, because I think it's pretty cool.
What was it again? I forget. Tell me, Mike.
It was, what's his name from that fighting game? Was it Mortal Kombat?
Oh, yeah. It was, Ryu. It was on Street Fighter #1.
Street Fighter, there you go.
Has a Ryu, whatever you say, cover homage to this, where he's standing. And it's really cool with Ryu because, it makes sense with him. He's in his gi with a literal towel, just around his neck, like he's chilling at the gym,
Man, you sure that didn't come first?
No, yeah, it's new. So it's an homage to this book. Yeah.
Huh. We'll have to look that up. Post it up on the website there.
Pat, I don't like when you doubt me. You know why? Because when you doubt me, I'm usually wrong. But
it's new to you, is what.
No, when I saw the cover, it was on a Whatnot show, and they said this is a new Street Fighter #1 homage to Clayton Crane's Venom. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, I'll probably look it up and I'll post a little comparison side by side because I really want to.
It's literally identical. It's literally identical. Literally, like every single bit of it.
So he traced it.
You'd think. Yep. Because Venom and Ryu are kind of built the same anyway. So might as well.
All right. Well, let's get to the winner here.
Okay.
This was a bloodbath. Surprisingly. The winner, 80% of the vote.
Let's just hope that the American flag beach towel isn't the winner here for the sake of Memorial Day. Come on now.
Right. Yeah. That's why I'm like, okay, you know, in the one he's kind of escorting some trick-or-treaters, so that's kind of like a good guy, and the other one is using the American flag, trying to be patriotic, because I've seen people with American flag shorts, you know.
Yeah, I'm always well, you know, well, if it's a pair of shorts, you know, it's not a flag. In this cover, you could interpret this that he's actually got a flag draped around his neck. You know what I mean? Not just a towel that looks like a flag.
Yeah. Well, the Olympians do it too. You know, they always run with it behind them and then they put it over. So but it's all out of pride and that's just crazy business. Anyway,
do they do that?
Yeah, they do. They run with it behind them.
They run with it behind them and they put them on like a cape, not like a beach towel.
They put it on like a cape? What's worse?
They do. They'll wrap it around their neck when they're running. That wasn't a joke. That was not a joke.
All right. Let's get to the winner. The big winner. Because
you said this is a bloodbath. Did you say the percentage yet? Sorry.
Yes, I did. 80% went to the winner.
Is this the biggest landslide of the week then, huh?
Yes, it is.
All right.
Yep. There we go.
Oh!
There it is. Venom #1. The trick-or-treating Venom with Spider-Man and Frankenstein's monster and
yeah, very nice. Oh, so man, okay.
That's that. All right. So while you guys give me a minute, I've got to switch gears.
Okay.
So we can get to the matchups for next week.
I'm hoping as Pat has put his thing face up, that means he's tallying. Are you tallying, Pat, or did you step away? He stepped away. Okay, I'm wrong. I'm hoping to get the stats from Pat when he comes back on where he's at. We know Buscema's done. Did you say Lee's definitely done? He's gone too?
Buscema is done, and Jim Lee is done as well.
And then Sienkiewicz only has one left, right?
Yeah, Sienkiewicz has one.
Sorry.
Mike Zeck has one. I didn't tally all the Clayton Cranes up there yet.
I mean, one getting down to the wire here. So yeah, everybody's starting to fall off. Yep.
I think there are like 2 Clayton Cranes. Yeah, it's
I'm just gonna make a prediction for the finals now that it'll be a Clayton Crane versus the best of all the other artists final.
Yeah, are we doing the when does the
claim? Oh, it's gonna be 3 again. Yeah. I keep forgetting that. Jeez, yeah. Yeah, we decided we're gonna do 3 again, right?
Yeah, so right here, this round is where people can claim. Is that what we're saying?
Oh, I didn't have anything in store for that. But yeah, we can do that. If you want to, I'll do something for anybody that wants to claim, and it'll be something a little bit less for people that are involved with the Xcellar Group, but people that aren't involved for Xcellar Group, I'll get something nice together. So if you wanna claim and you only want it in one place, right, Mike? Where do you want people to claim?
No, I think claiming can go anywhere. It can be on this video, on the Facebook page, because that there's not really a timeline for that. I want all the votes submitted in one place because there's a lot of tallying to do.
Yeah, you got a deadline. Got it. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this can be anywhere.
All right. So if you want to predict who the winner of Cover Combat 4 will be, do it now on Facebook or YouTube but either on the Facebook post for this live stream or on the Facebook post. Karen's already claiming Venom Halloween. Okay. She just wanted to get that in quick. Okay.
Well, I don't even have a place to write my notes yet. All right, hold on.
But get your claim in. I'll get you something nice if you end up being right. And if you aren't involved with the XcellarComics group, I'll get you something even nicer. And trust me, I do not disappoint with giveaways.
So Karen's claiming Venom #1 from Clayton Green. Okay.
I'm going to claim Incredible Hulk 340.
We don't want to give other people a chance.
No.
Okay.
Not with my favorite book of all time.
Yeah, that Venom #1. I'm going to do one better than claim that. I'm going to go buy that thing.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I'm picking that cover up myself. I think it's like it might be like $30 though. So I back burner that one.
Is that like an incentive or what cover was that? Do you know?
I think it was a store exclusive, maybe.
Okay.
But all right, let's if you want to share that screen, I'm ready on my end.
Wait, there's no screen for me to share. The black screen.
Yeah, did I remove it?
I don't know what you're talking about, Mike.
Not that one. Okay, give me a second. I got to go back into. Let me close this.
But okay, Karen says she wants one of those Venom Halloweens. I'll hook you up, Karen. I got a few gifts for you, actually. Don't let me forget to give them to you when I come to PA. Here we go. Working. Okay.
Let me get my. I'm gonna get.
I thought this was just a. Karen, they're in my truck. Well, I guess if Mama wants to take the van. All right, here we go.
Yeah, I forgot to make a. Did I forget? Yeah, I forgot to make a home screen before I get to the first matchup right there, right out of the gate. You're looking at it.
Yeah.
So we've got
this is round 3. Gotcha.
Yes, we've got the recently discussed Venom #1 from Clayton Crane, the Halloween cover versus War of the Bounty Hunters Alpha by Clayton Crane. Looks like somebody's Clayton Crane is getting beat up by another one. Anyway.
This is tough for me because obviously, from what I've said already, you can tell I like that Venom cover more than this War of the Bounty Hunters cover. But how am I going to pick Venom over Boba Fett? Are you serious?
Yep. These are the choices you're forced to make.
So it makes cover combat a wonderful experience, right, Pat?
That's right.
All right. Yeah, we only have 6 matchups. 12 covers are left.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Oh. We have
easy pick.
Flash.
Easy pick.
Flash 38 versus Electra 23.
Francisco might be a little bit tougher for Sorry.
That's right. Francisco Matina versus Bill Sienkiewicz.
This might be a little tougher for Pat.
Yeah. Right.
This might be a tough one for Mark because his name's on the cover of the Electra. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No.
He loves the Flash, though.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He's just going to be automatic. He's like, I don't even care what it's going up against. Flash. All right. Next up, Spider-Geddon #1 versus Hulk 340. Oh, that's
you got to be kidding me.
It'll be okay, Kevin. I have faith.
Man, this is That's why you love cover combat.
It sure is. So we got the Clayton Crane Spider-Geddon #1 versus Todd McFarlane's Hulk 340.
All right. Hopefully my old school people pull through on this one.
Yep. All right. Next matchup. Amazing Spider-Man 293, Mike Zeck versus Spider-Man 2099 #5, Francisco Matina.
It's time for that glass to go away.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough round for you, Pat.
Yeah, I can definitely see 2099 kind of. I think there is reign might have come to an end.
I don't know. I can see that last round and this round going either way. I mean, it just depends on who actually gets their votes in. That's all.
Yep.
All right, moving on.
This is rough.
Spawn 284, Francisco Mattina versus Marvel Age 90, Todd McFarlane. Oh, Todd versus Todd.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly.
Indirectly.
Well, yeah, that sucks. Kind of. These all suck in a good way, I guess. Wait, this is family friendly. Sorry. These all are not fun, but in a very fun way.
All right. Well, there's only one matchup left.
Okay.
And I know you've already forgotten what's left.
I have.
Here you go. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love it. I promise you.
Uh-oh.
Amazing Spider-Man 316 from Todd McFarlane versus Deathstroke 32, Francisco Mattina.
This is definitely, if my memory can go back 6 pictures, this is the old school versus new school round.
Yeah,
Right?
it seems like it.
Mike,
yeah, I think the only new school was Venom 1 and War of the Bounty Hunters. And that's both Clayton Crane versus himself.
Yeah. This will be an interesting round.
Yeah.
There you go. Claim your books.
Only 10 left to claim. Make sure it's going to be first come, first serve. Every book gets claimed by the first person that claims it. So only 10 left.
Yep.
Whew. That's awesome though.
All right.
Oh man, I'm seriously, I'm like so frustrated right now. That round 3 it's going to be brutal, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to have some. What do you call it when you spike your coffee? What do they call it? When you throw some Jack Daniels in the coffee. What's this old
alcoholism? Oh no, sorry, that's not it.
It's like an old Irish thing or something, isn't it? Where they have a name?
Well, they've got it. Oh yeah, it's called Irish coffee.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a funny story about Irish coffee.
Okay.
So it was after work one time. Our friend Greg, myself, our friend Jesse. It was like a Friday night after work. We went to the bar, and I had big old Grizzly Adams beard, and we're in landscape construction and stuff, and we're sitting there at the bar, and they both order beer, and I ordered Irish coffee. It came with a big dollop of whipped cream on top, so I grab it in a little tiny handle and I drink it. I've got whipped cream all over me. It was like the least manly thing on the planet right there. But anyway, it was good. That was like 20 years ago. That's all I got.
Okay. All right. I was waiting for a punchline, Mike, on that one.
No,
where's the crickets, audience? We missed the crickets last week. No, Karen doesn't want to be mean to you, Mike. Karen doesn't want to be mean to you. The audience has left the building. Okay.
There they are. Killing it. Killing it. I'll be here all show.
The delayed reaction. That was great, though. I mean, it's just great. Cover Combat, love it, love it, love it, love it. And I think it might be just getting better and better, in lots of different ways. So great job on that, Mike. We really appreciate all you do, and great job to the voters as well. All right, as if we didn't get enough of my opinions for the last hour, would we like to get into a fan favorite that's full of nothing but my opinions. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right, cool. Here we go. Okay, awesome. I talked about how I was proud of my reviews on the website this week, so I was going to work on making my reviews during the show more like that. But of course, I failed miserably, so it's just going to be totally the same as it's always been. But I'm still going to work on it. If you haven't been on our website to check out my reviews, all of our reviews, in fact, but I think everybody else's are usually better than mine as far as how they're written and expressed. But I was proud of how they were for this past show. So check that out before we change it. But I'm just winging it again. So hopefully I can do fine and keep it fairly short. I wanted to start with something that I didn't watch. I watched the trailer for. Oh, got a delay. The Walking Dead: Dead City. Did you guys see the trailer for this?
Yeah, it was. I think it was on during Survivor of all things, and I saw it when I was fast forwarding commercials, but I didn't go back and watch it.
Okay, were you? So, and obviously you're the one that's, I think, into The Walking Dead the most out of the three of us. So you were totally aware about this happening, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that was one of the big mistakes they made, was announcing all these spin-offs before the show had actually ended.
Oh, they actually announced it before it even ended. Oh, geez.
Yeah, many months in advance. It's not just this one either.
What else you got? What else is there?
There's a Rick and Michonne show / movie, perhaps, and there's a Daryl. It was supposed to be Daryl and Carol, but Carol didn't want. She bowed out, and it's just Daryl now because they're filming in Europe, where his girlfriend lives, I believe, or his wife. So she didn't want to live over there. So so we basically knew all 5 of these characters were going to survive the end of the main show.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's kind of a spoiler that everyone survives, but also knowing that we're getting more kind of makes a lot of the content, because I told you I watched the last episode, it makes a lot of that kind of less meaningful too, because we thought, it kind of ended like, they were parting ways for good kind of situations, but
yeah.
Wow, that is odd, man. Yeah, they messed that up. Mike, were you aware of this? Mike, you still around right now? All right, I'll assume that's a no. But anyway, yeah, I saw the trailer for this, and I can't. The scroll's going across the date there. You probably know what it is anyway, Pat. What is it, June 18th?
No, I don't know. Right.
Yeah, I think it's June 18th.
Wow, I didn't realize it was going to be in the summer.
Yeah, I definitely know it's June. The date.
Yeah.
Were you aware of this, Mike? Were you aware of all the spinoffs and everything?
Yeah, I saw a post somewhere where it kind of showed the ones that Patrick mentioned.
Okay.
That's all I know. I didn't look into it. I didn't watch any trailers or anything like that. But I agree with what you're saying, Kevin. It's kind of, I mean, we're getting a lot more of. I think I agree with what you're saying. I had it in my head what you said.
Well, Pat was saying it was kind of a spoiler alert that it made the ending. You knew who was going to make it, and then I was saying that it kind of ruined the feel-good moments at the end of the show that I got, at least, when I felt like we were never going to see these characters again, kind of thing.
Okay, so. Yeah, it makes sense. I just had a lot of traffic in the studio here.
Sorry, say it again, Mike.
I had a lot of traffic in the studio here.
Oh, okay. I watched this trailer, and it was underwhelming to me too. It didn't make me want to watch it. That's for sure. So take that for what it is. But I haven't watched anything except the final episode of Walking Dead for a while. So I don't know whether that really means much for people that are actually fans of Walking Dead. So, but check it out. Trailer's out. So.
Yeah, I need to get to that. To finish that last season of The Walking Dead. I still haven't done it.
Yeah, you need to do that. Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, then I got around to watching Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantomania. Oh, and that's actually a U in there. I actually put an O in the description of it. Anyway, have either of you seen this yet?
Yes.
No, I've not.
All right. So I just wanted to say, I mean, obviously, the only reason this is kind of new news, quote unquote, is because it's streaming on Disney Plus as of last week. So with, me being, poor folk, I wasn't able to see it here. Or maybe not poor folk, but not enough to be able to drop 100 when I got a family like I am to go see a movie. So I didn't get to see this in theaters. It's streaming on Disney Plus now. And before I say much about it, I'll get into the story and everything in a minute. If you want to just give what's your hot take rating on Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, Pat?
Maybe a 6.
Okay. So, Mike, where are you on this being spoiled for you? Do you care, or what's your status on wanting to see this?
I really want to see it. I have no problem with spoilers.
Okay. All right. Well, you can definitely see it now because it's free. I'm going to put up the spoiler alert though, because I guess it's possible that someone could be listening, watching. So if you're watching, wait till the spoiler alert logo in the top right corner goes down before you turn the volume back up. And if you're listening, give me 5 minutes. I'm going to keep this short. But basically, so MODOK, I might not even say anything that's really a spoiler anyway. So the two big criticisms, at least what I've heard about this, is one, MODOK, of course. And what's your take on MODOK, Pat?
My take.
How did you feel about, how they did him in this movie? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've heard the complaints. I didn't love him, but I mean, he's MODOK. What did you expect?
Anyone? What did you expect? Anyone?
Kevin, are you okay?
It's like everything's freezing on his screen. His
there he
fan
is. Wait,
is pausing.
Yeah, I'm going in and out. Sorry about it. Great time for me to go in and out. But anyway, yeah, I agree with that. Are you familiar with the comics origin of MODOK, Pat?
I mean, a little bit. I'm the world's biggest MODOK fan, but
it's definitely not Yellow Jacket, though, right?
No.
Is anybody a big fan of MODOK though?
Yeah, I know there's some big fans of MODOK out there.
Really?
Yeah.
If I had a list of least favorite characters,
I know there's toy collectors out there that collect every single MODOK item, and it's like, okay,
yeah, hey.
Yeah. So okay. So this is a good spoiler. So MODOK is Yellow Jacket from Ant-Man 1. Mike, do you remember at the end of Ant-Man 1, how he got rid of him? He, put the shrinking disc on him and made him shrink so small he went into the quantum realm. Remember that, Mike?
Yeah.
Well, that's how then Kang made Yellow Jacket into MODOK to serve him, essentially. So, not knowing anything about MODOK, I thought that was pretty cool, actually. So that's my first thing, is I figured that wasn't canon, but I liked the way they put that together for me as a, casual viewer of not knowing anything about MODOK. I thought that was pretty cool. Although when he had his mask up, he definitely looked ridiculous. I thought he looked pretty cool with his mask down. I thought that was fine. And then my only other complaint with MODOK was that they made him a real punk, and I'm not just saying they made him beatable, but, he came out of the gate, he's the enforcer of Kang. He's like the murderer. He's like tough guy, but by the end, again, spoiler alert for you, Mike, before he dies, he's a real punk, and he kind of turns into this kind of.
Yeah, he's a punchline.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good way to put it. Yeah. So, but yeah, I didn't hate it as bad as people hated on it. I'm kind of in the same line with you, Pat, but and especially without knowing any history of him, I liked the way they introduced him.
Yeah, it makes sense in the MCU scheme of things. Might as well reuse a character that's been used before and maybe forgotten about. Just dig them up again and put them back in there.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah. And as far as the rest of the movie is concerned, I mean, just to give a quick synopsis, you know, Ant-Man and the Wasp and, you know, the original Hank Pym and his wife, I can't remember her name, whatever, you know, and Ant-Man's daughter all get sucked into the quantum realm accidentally. And the way it happened, it's fine. That's the other thing that I've heard complaints about how stupid it was, but it seemed to play out fine and believable enough, whatever, for the way they got sucked into the quantum realm. And another complaint I heard is why wouldn't what's Michelle Pfeiffer's character's name, Pat?
Janet
Van Dyne, right?
Okay, Janet. So that's the other complaint I heard, that like, why wouldn't Janet make sure to tell people about Kang? You know,
we know why, Kevin.
Well, we know why. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we know why, right?
Yeah, because people don't talk. Remember?
Oh yeah, yeah. That is good. But no, that she did say why, and though she answered that question, even though it was a passing comment, she answered that question. They asked her straight up, "You failed to mention." I think it was Hank that failed. You know, you failed to mention this guy to us, and I can't remember the excuse she gave, but she gave an excuse as to why she failed to mention him in the movie, you know, so. But anyway, so I thought that was fine. And then, you know, we're in the quantum realm. Everything's weird in the quantum realm. You have to buy that to get into anything quantum realm, you know, stuff. And how weird everything was in the quantum realm was fine with me too. I've got two other slight critiques. One, it didn't make sense to me how Kang's, you know, dimension traveling power source was so small that Ant-Man had to shrink himself down so small to get to it, right, Pat?
Okay.
But then when he did that, then the power source was big.
Right.
And he had to make it small to take it back up with him, right?
Sure. Okay.
Why? You know what I mean? I was just wondering, why didn't he just shrink himself down to a point to where he would be still bigger than it and he could just grab it and then come back up? He, like Mike, he literally shrunk himself down to where this power source that you can hold in the palm of your hand is literally the size of a house to him. So then he has to actually reach it, and he's so deep in the quantum realm that he's losing his mind, but he has to reach it to put a shrink disc on it to make it small for him to grab it to then grow big again and take it back to the state of the quantum realm that Kang is at, you know? So it seemed very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Convoluted.
Yeah, convoluted. Exactly, Mike. That's exactly what I was looking for. Right, Pat? I mean, did you feel that on that?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other complaint I have is, you know, Kang is obviously this big Billy bad butt. And when they're showing his history of conquering, and actually when they first start fighting him, when they've got help, he's got these beams, these power beams out that are just these big long rays, and he's just mowing people down like this, you know, with his beams. But then when the final battle comes, of course, he's doing the do thing, and then he gets overwhelmed. That stood out to me as soon as it happened. Did that happen to you, Pat, as well?
Yeah, I mean,
his power seemed to fluctuate.
Yeah.
Dreams, depending on the part of the story we were talking about, apparently. Sure. So, and then obviously he's so tough, he can, he's so uber powerful, but then he gets in a fist fight with Ant-Man. That was like, but so anyway, it was fine though. I'll probably go a little bit higher than Pat. I'll probably go maybe a 7 on this. I definitely liked it more than I thought I would. That's for sure. And I definitely had fun watching it. That's the biggest thing that's important, I guess, right? I mean, even Even if you got critiques, I had overall good time. I actually will say this is probably my favorite Marvel movie in probably the last 6 ever since the Eternals or Captain Marvel, so that ain't saying much though. But ever since we've been in this run of bad Marvel movies, I would say this is my favorite of that lot. Where are you on that, Pat?
No, not for me. I definitely liked Black Panther better. I liked Thor better. It was just
that's
fine.
right. You like Black Panther, yeah.
It just was sort of middle of the road for me. It's weird because they've, Ant-Man has sort of been the funny side, and there was some funny bits in this movie, but they overlay that with who was supposed to be the main villain of this upcoming phase in Kang. And I'm not sure the two jived so well,
And you saw the after credits, of course, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, how we talk about how when movies go down the road of multiverses and time travel, there's no rules, there's no consequences for anything, right? I mean, it's kind of how they talk about the talking heads that are really well known that are criticizing or propping up these movies, and I hear a lot about how people have superhero fatigue, and I'm like, I don't think that's what it is. I think it's they're not making these things really mean anything. There's no rules. So like I said, there's no consequences. So that with those things in mind, it really, what feelings are you going to have? How are they going to have any kind of movie that's going to give you the feeling the end of Endgame gave you, with just everything being broken now, right?
Yep. I agree. And that's kind of the point I'm getting at with Kang, well, a Kang.
Yeah.
Because, if he was taken down by Ant-Man, it's...
How's he going to beat all the Avengers, right? Well, I think they might have, in that after scene, that, it's not, like you said, a Kang. I guess that's the answer, right? There's, a bunch of Kangs, which we know from Loki as well. That's what the Kang at the end of Loki told Loki right before Loki killed him. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Loki. But Kang is at the end of Loki, and Loki kills a Kang there too. But there's a bunch of Kangs. So anyway, maybe that's your answer, Pat, right? So.
Yeah, but that, what also that makes me a little leery of is kind of the thing that a lot of these Marvel movies have turned into, is just a big armies of CGI fighting, and I'm afraid that's what that'll come down to, is faceless Avengers fighting an army of Kang somewhere down the line.
Gotcha. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, taking the spoiler alert down. So overall, I gave Ant-Man and the Wasp a 7. Pat gives it a 6. And, I just said it's probably one of my favorite of the latest lackluster Marvels. So I didn't hate it near as much as I thought I would based on all the criticisms it was getting. So, Mike, did you check out because of spoilers?
No, I had to check out because of Xbox Live issues.
Oh, okay.
Or Game Pass issues. Sorry.
Okay. So then I got to watch another thing that I didn't get to see in theaters that's new. Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Thank you to my friend Mike. He hooked me up with a login so I could check this out. It's not streaming free anywhere right now, but it's pretty much renting, and you can buy it anywhere right now, but it's not streaming free yet, right? As far as I know. Does anybody else know anything different?
Yeah, I don't know.
I know
it's not on physical, but
yeah. And how we were shocked about Dungeons and Dragons being out in March, and then it's streaming free already, right?
Right.
Well, Ant-Man, which obviously what's arguable that's bigger than a big Marvel blockbuster right now, that was just out in February, And Shazam was out in March as well. I mean, it's like all this stuff is coming at you fast, which You know, it's so funny. I think they're doing that to make their money back quicker, but I think people knowing that they're streaming quicker is losing the money in the theater, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
take that for what it is.
Yeah, the whole theater experience is just you've got a budget for it nowadays. You can't just up and say, "Hey, let's go to the movies," and $350 for a matinee ticket or something, and it's just outlandish. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I said $100, but I think the last time I went, it was like closer to 150 when you take snacks and food and everything,
Yep.
So anyway, yeah, Shazam Part 2, Fury of the Gods. I watched this on Vudu. Mike had bought it, so I got his login on this.
Netflix. I wasn't sharing my Netflix account there. Netflix.
Yeah.
They're cracking down.
No Netflix sharing here. Yeah. Okay, so did you see this, Pat?
No, I did not.
Do you care about spoilers or anything?
No.
Okay. I don't even think I'm going to put the spoiler alert. Well, I guess I should. Okay, I'm going to put spoiler alert up again because I probably have a couple things that people might care about. So again, once the spoiler alert comes down from the right-hand corner, video, people come back. People listening, give me another 5. So did you like the first Shazam, Pat?
Yes. Probably my favorite DC movie.
Okay. Do you like it?
Modern
you liked
one.
it too, right, Mike? Of course.
Yes. Yeah. I loved it. I agree with
totally,
Pat. It's probably one of my favorite DC movies.
Yeah, I totally. Well, I'd say it's one of my favorite, but hopefully you're not considering the Christian Bale Batman in there. But anyway,
I am. You know me.
Anyway, yeah, I know. So I think the charm of the first Shazam, obviously it's funnier and campier than the other DC movies, intentionally, of course. And then, but I think the charm of the first Shazam was that the people being goofy and immature and non-serious were the kids. They're kids becoming superheroes. And when they're in their adult form being superheroes, they are still acting like kids. And that comes off very funny in a lot of situations. And that played out very well for me in the first one. I'm in line with you guys that the first one is definitely great. And I think they kind of messed that up with this one. I know, Mike, you already told me you and your family like this a lot, but I don't know if I could be much further on the opposite spectrum with this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I really thought you were going to love it.
Yeah. I completely expected to as well. I'll tell you why. Well, I already kind of partially told you why. First of all, is that this was just over the top goofy, and it wasn't just the kids being that way. It was adults. It was events. It was people that were supposed to be scared of being non-serious. So again, with spoilers, I'm gonna lay out 2 or 3 things here specifically. All right. And Pat, I'm glad you haven't seen it because I want you to visualize what I'm saying. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So these 3 women, you can see in the poster, are the children of Atlas, and they've come back to retrieve the staff that was destroyed, that the wizard from the first Shazam had, that Shazam broke in half. They're retrieving that staff because I guess it's theirs to begin with. If I'm butchering any minor things like that, I apologize. But essentially, they're trying to get the staff. That's where my issue starts there. I didn't know it when I first saw it, but then later I look back to the beginning. But in the beginning, they're literally using their powers to wipe out humans. Like, they just do not care at all about these people. And what did strike me at first was Lucy Liu has this ability to kind of speak in the ear of humans, and then they'll do whatever she says, and they kind of lose it and become crazy people, zombie type craziness. And she uses her ability to make them all start fighting each other to make everything chaotic for them to be able to get this staff that they're trying to retrieve out. And then at the end of the same exact battle, well, not really a battle, at the end of the same exact chaos that's happening there, then what's the older lady in the middle's name again?
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren.
Yeah, she just makes them all statues, and and then destroys all the statues and kills them that way. It's like, it seemed like, why did both of those just happen? Why didn't just one or the other happen? That struck me right away. Although that wasn't a big complaint, I thought about it later. But it was just, it struck me as odd right out of the bat. Why would they go through the whole chaos thing and fighting and stuff when they could just turn them all to stone and make them dust anyway? Why not do that to then? And I know the answer is because that would make for less of an exciting movie. But as far as trying to make things, interesting and believable, it failed out of the gate with that, as far as I'm concerned. And then I was fine for a very long time with the events of what was happening. It follows, not only Shazam, but the rest of the Shazam family and their lives dealing with being superheroes and how they're contending with that as a family and yada, yada. And it was all fine. I was enjoying all that for the most part. Then we get to the final epic battle at the end. And the first thing that struck me as, it's actually, this poster is kind of a spoiler, because the girl on the left-hand side of the poster, the youngest one, we're supposed to not know that she's one of the daughters of Atlas out of the gate. She's having kind of a relationship with one of the Shazam family kids, the handicapped one that's walking around on the crutch or whatever. She's actually falling for him because she actually is in school, and he actually helps her when she's the new girl, and she was endeared by that, and she falls for him. So she starts to care for him out of the gate. So the whole time until we get near the end, the two older sisters are just not caring about humanity at all. Their whole plan is to bring back the Tree of Life on Earth, and rebuild their realm to rule over again. And the youngest sister, pretty much as soon as we have an opportunity to know, is kind of against that because, excuse me, it will wipe out humanity. But the two other sisters are like, no, we don't care. We're going to wipe out humanity. That's what's happening, essentially. Until we get near the end, and then all of a sudden, not only do we have one flip the script, Mirren, she flips the script and just like starts to defend essentially what the younger sister's saying, that, we shouldn't do this, yada, yada. And then again, and that was like, out of nowhere to me. And then another thing that was even more out of nowhere for me is Lucy Liu's response is to immediately kill her. So they're like sisters that, they've been sisters for thousands and thousands of years. And, they only care about each other. And the youngest sister has been arguing with the two older sisters the entire movie about don't do this. But as soon as one of the older sisters takes her side, Lucy Liu just kills her.
Took her eye off the prize. Stay focused. She took her eye off the prize. That's why we stay focused.
Can you see how that doesn't exactly click as far as making the movie make sense, though? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I was just so into it. I was just
I'm hoping I can get you more off that ledge by the end of this, because I haven't even gotten to the craziest thing yet, Pat. Okay,
it probably won't. You can try. It probably won't, because I just had so much fun watching
it.
That's
all that matters. We talked about that anyway. If you had fun with it, that's all. It's all good anyway. Especially since you bought it, So that's really good. You like it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that has anything to do with it, but maybe.
No, I'm just saying I'm happy that you like it since you bought it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then Lucy Liu has a dragon, Pat, right? She's riding the dragon. Oh, wait. She wasn't riding the dragon when she did this. The way she kills her sister is she has the dragon literally shoot its, 1 foot diameter tail that has a spike on the end through her chest from behind, and she's like this, and it lifts her up, kind of thing, until it tosses her down dead. Right, Pat? Okay.
Okay.
So she's got a hole. Maybe a foot's an exaggeration. She's got a big hole right in the middle of her chest. Right.
Okay.
So anything short of a resurrection potion or spell, there's nothing saving this lady, right, Pat?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, she is a daughter of Atlas or whatever, so immortal. I don't know.
Well, apparently, what are those things? Clear. What are those things?
The defibrillator pads.
Yeah, apparently a defibrillator will do it though, Pat. Because even though she's got a big hole in her chest and she just died, and the other thing too is, Pat, don't get me wrong here. The dragon didn't just kill her and then she dropped and then defibrillator come back to life. She's killed and dropped. We go do other stuff for 45 minutes. And then someone's like, oh, we need Mirren. We need the Mirren lady. And Shazam goes back to her, does the whole defibrillator trick. He does it with his lightning, though. He actually does it.
Yeah,
he's like clear with his hands, like he's by himself, that was a funny part, though. He was being funny, of course. But he put his hands together and he rubbed them together. They're sparking. He's like, clear, and he shots her, right? So, but that brings her back to life, which, like I said, come on now. She's got a big hole in her chest through her heart. And I guess, yeah, she's the daughter of Atlas, true. But then the only part that I really was like, come on, movie, makes sense for me, is if she wouldn't have been dead. Like, if she would have been there, like, suffering but not dead yet, it would have made more sense to me, But she was dead, and he brought her back to life with lightning bolts to the chest. But anyway, that was all like, that's silly. But here we go, Pat. Here's the big climactic ending for you, Pat, okay? This tree of life, they plant the tree of life. It's growing like crazy, and it's the size of a skyscraper, just growing like crazy, right? And apparently, which the youngest sister knew, would wipe out humanity. Because I was thinking that first when she mentioned, like, why would it wipe out humanity? Well, the reason is because when the tree of life grows, the roots hatch these eggs on it, okay? And the eggs hatch, and all these every mythological nightmare you ever knew hatches from these roots. Like, they got minotaurs, cyclops, the big, raven lady demons, but there's one mythical creature, Pat. Okay, this is the most monstrous, scary, deadly mythological creature. This isn't my opinion. The movie says this. I'm paraphrasing, but essentially the god that gave Shazam his powers, what's his name from Thor? Thor. Yeah, he and no, Guardians of the Galaxy, not Thor. Guardians of the Galaxy guy. Man, what's his name, Mike? Who's the wizard that gave Shazam his powers? What's that actor's name?
I don't remember his name.
Dadgummit. You know what I'm talking about, though, right, Pat? He's in Guardians of the Galaxy too. He's in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's in Gladiator. He's in everything.
Okay.
Yeah,
anyway,
he's in the first one.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I was just trying to give Pat's visuals because I thought he would come up with the name, but that's fine. That guy, okay, that guy says this. What I'm getting ready to say, Pat. This isn't Kevin's opinion. That guy says this is the most ferocious, violent, dangerous, evil, mean creature to ever exist. And Pat, that he adds at the end of the description that they hate humans more than anything. Okay, Pat? So they're evil, vicious, deadly, violent, mean creatures that hate humans more than anything. Okay? Pat, go ahead and guess what creature that is.
The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Very close, Pat. Good guess. Unicorns.
Ah.
Okay,
unicorns.
Which that's fine, Pat. I'm fine with that. If they want to wreck the gentle, loving, source material of unicorns for all eternity for this movie, I'm fine with that, Pat. I don't have any love for unicorns. They're fine. They're cool, or whatever. But these unicorns, they were big and black. They were like big, Clydesdales with black horns. They were mean, right? Right, Pat?
Okay.
They hate humans, Pat. Okay? Pat, you're going to love this. I'm going to give you one guess, and you can make it something stupid and quick because you're never going to guess what turns these unicorns to save the day. Guess, Pat.
This is leading to my family's favorite parts.
Oh my God! Not Emily's. Not Emily. I can see your kids loving this, but not Emily. Not a true literature appreciator like that.
Well, maybe it's a favorite line. It's a favorite line, but go ahead.
Okay, yeah, okay. I can see it being a funny line.
Yeah.
You have a guess, Pat?
Is it a food item? Is it a person?
Yes. Food item.
Food item. Okay.
Yeah.
Cotton candy.
Oh, Pat, you are
Close.
way closer than I actually thought you were going to be. It's none other than Skittles. This big, beefy Clydesdale unicorn with a big horn and scary eyes and mean noises is charging at the youngest of the Shazam family, little black girl, little cute girl in that. You remember her? Charging at her, but she's standing her ground. She walks up ahead of everyone, and she's going to face this unicorn, and she reaches in her pocket and tosses out some Skittles. Lands in front of it. It stops in its track. It eats them up, and now it loves them, and it's not only going to help them win, but it starts carrying them. They start riding big, mean unicorns everywhere to fight all these other bad demons because they've lost their powers. That's the other thing the sisters can do. They can steal the powers with the staff of all of the Shazam family. So Shazam's the only Shazam power, the only one with power by the end of this battle as well. So they have to use the horrible unicorns to fight all the other demons, and it works.
Well, we've seen the commercials where a Snickers bar turns somebody that's cranky into a more pleasant person.
It's so weird because that seems almost like up Skittles' weird advertising campaigns.
Well, I'm
It
assuming
all fits together is a product placement thing.
I'm assuming that Mike's favorite quote is when she does it. Guess what she says, Pat? What does the little girl say when she throws the Skittles out?
Well, the kids and Emily laughed hysterically. I thought it was funny. But
Pat, what does she say?
Well, I have to guess. Taste the rainbow.
Very good, Pat. Exactly. She says that.
Yeah, in a more aggressive manner, and they cut out the end of it because she had some.
Oh yeah, that's another problem I had with it too.
That was actually what I was gonna say. It was taste the rainbow, but I didn't want to. I thought, well, this is more family friendly, but they did the old cut, I guess.
They did.
So okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Pat or Mike. She didn't say that with Taste the Rainbow. When they started riding the unicorns and they were heading into battle, she goes, yeah, take that, and then she MFs, which obviously they have a problem with that. They have not only do they have someone MF in the Shazam family, like you said, family friendly. You'd assume is a family friendly movie, and they did cut it off, Pat. So they didn't actually say it; they cut her off. But they have the youngest character in the movie saying it. Right. So, and then I got two other small critiques. One is that the oldest daughter in the Shazam family is like super smart, right, Mike?
Right.
But then she's going to be a part of the whole Steve Penn typo thing. So basically, Pat, there's a pen that will transcribe. It's alive, and it will transcribe anything you can say onto a transcript, and then it will turn into a bird and fly to whoever you want to send it to or whatever. And there's this whole joke in the movie, which admittedly was funny, where they don't proofread their own letter. So it's actually transcribing all the things they say in between the points they're trying to make, So it's a pretty funny moment, admittedly. But again, with this she's the oldest daughter of the Shazam family, is like the serious smart girl, and she's a part of this whole conversation. And at the end of the note, it says, "Should we proofread?" And it's like, "No, it'll be okay." And so I'm just like, this again. I wouldn't care about that if it wasn't just another thing, that was kind of like, what the heck. And then I'm going to add that on to Lucy Liu too. So they create a dome around the Tree of Life. They create a dome around all of San Francisco to begin with, but then they're able to shrink it. Helen Mirren's able to, she intentionally shrinks it down to be just around the Tree of Life. So the Sisters of Atlas have actually created this dome for the only reason it exists because the Sisters of Atlas created it. But then Helen Mirren's protecting herself with it when she's been resurrected and isn't dead again yet. And Lucy Liu comes after her to attack her. And she's on her dragon that breathes fire, lightning blasts of, like crazy dragons do. And she sits there and she's trying to bust out of this dome using this dragon, blasting it for like, no joke, 5 minutes. So Shazam can have a dialogue with his adopted parents that are in the middle of the city in a van that's being destroyed by demons, where everybody's running all over the place. They're making jokes with each other. It's like I said, Mike, the part that this show loses me on is it was the appreciative nature of the ridiculousness of the kids amongst the adult world. But this was no holds barred, ridiculous left and right, everybody and all characters throughout. That's the other thing too, is to fight the big dragon that can blow fire. It has two abilities. It can blow this blue lightning fire out of its mouth, or it can make you feel everything you've ever been afraid of in your entire body just by looking at it. Like does this hypnotizing thing on you, and it makes you feel every fear you ever feared. And of course, when it matters, Pat, when it matters to destroy the handicapped kid and the youngest daughter of the Sisters of Atlas, which ability does he use? Like Lucy Liu actually yells out, kill them, like 3 times. What ability did it use to kill them, Pat? Would it be the lightning bolt flame mouth that just incinerates small towns in one breath? Or does it use the fear so that the kids can then prove that no matter how afraid they are, they still have courage? Which one is it, Pat? Which one did it use?
I'm going to guess the latter, the fear ability.
Exactly. That one. Yeah. Okay. I'm done. After all of that, let me take the spoiler alert down. Okay, so after all of that, you might be surprised. I'll give this a 5.
Oh,
because I do agree with Mike that this was pretty. I mean, there's a lot of fun to be had here, but it was just so distracting to me how unserious and much of a joke it was. And it lost its charm that the first one lost. That I think that's why this movie failed. And I think we won't get another Shazam because this was just a joke.
I actually like this.
And the only I'd like to give it better than the first one.
No, I was gonna say better than Black Adam.
Oh yeah. We disagree on Black Adam too. I gave Black Adam a pretty good rating. I enjoy Black Adam. I asked you why too, and nobody can give me a reason why you don't like Black Adam. Well, you said because you didn't feel anything for the characters, right?
Yeah, I mean, visually they looked cool and all that. It's just,
yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah, I thought Black Adam was definitely surprisingly good. Lots of action. I mean, this isn't a Black Adam review, but anyway, yeah, right. We're polar opposites on Black Adam and Shazam too. So, yeah, this just lost the charm from the first one for me. So, I'm giving it a 5 though because there was a lot of funny in it. So overall, I had a fun time. But if it wasn't for that, I'd probably give it like a 4 or maybe even a 3 as far as quality of a movie is concerned. So. All right.
Real quickly on the poster there. I was immediately drawn to where the lightning bolt placement is. I mean, but then I noticed the DC logo is right over his belt. He doesn't actually have DC logo on his belt, I assume.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, I don't recall that. I don't think so though either.
Why did they do that on the poster then? That's just whatever.
They did have new suits though. Yeah, they did look different. But anyway, yeah. So
well, I guess I'm looking forward to seeing this movie. I
like it.
I'm looking to see it.
I'll have to watch it again with more critical eyes.
It might be one of those things that I've totally ripped it to shreds for you. That you'd be like, it wasn't that bad. So it'll make you how that works. It'll give you a tick up because of my thing instead of how that works in the opposite direction. But anyway. All right. Speaking of things that I'm assuming me and Mike might differ on here, I watched episode 4 and 5 of Silo, since Mike pointed out to me that Silo came out, or Silo episodes dropped Friday. So I thought it was Sunday last show, so I didn't watch 4 yet. So then I got 4 watched, but then I got 5 watched last night since I was aware that it drops on Fridays now. I changed the poster too, just to kind of, make it a little bit more interesting. It's got more of the big players on the poster there. Mike, are you caught up? Did you watch episode 5?
Yeah.
And please, I need to take a breath. Can you give your take on episode 4 and 5? We haven't talked about 4 either. 4 and 5.
Well, 4 is going to be more difficult because I watched it last week. And that's I'm not good at it. I can't remember a lot of the stuff that went on last week.
Okay, so going to 5 then. Well, you mean to remind you about 4 then real quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I should make mental notes. I basically just watched it. I should make mental notes to talk about it, but I didn't.
Well, in your defense, the only reason I remember is because obviously they do a recap at the beginning of every episode. So when I just watched 5 last night. So didn't you just watch 5 last night as well?
Yeah, I just watched 5, but that's the thing I've already.
Oh, did you skip over the previously on? Or
no.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
That's okay. Anyway, that's the only reason I remember it, though. If it wasn't for 5 reminding me at the beginning, because it does that little previously on at the beginning of every episode, I would have probably forgotten what happened in 4, which is going to be my biggest critique of 4. And I'm going to defend you with this too, Mike, but I don't know if you can remember how you felt after the end of 4. But, man, I threw my hands up and I was like, man, what a forgetful episode. And I'm not even saying that because of trying to chime in on the jokes we're making, but I literally said that. I was like, what, that, nothing, like literally in 4, the only thing of any event that happened is the deputy is killed. He's attacked at the end.
Right.
Oh, I guess I should put up spoilers, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, people might be binging it.
Yeah, sorry if I ruined it for anybody listening. We're checking out again. Sorry, and that's the tough part about being spoiler free. I'm gonna have to work on with my reviews in the future too. But step away until I already put it up. Yeah, step away until the spoiler comes down. If you're listening again, give me another 5. Sorry, you just might want to skip what Kevin watched in general this week. So anyway, so the deputy dies, but the whole rest of the episode, besides for the deputy dying, was just this bickering back and forth between Juliet and what's his name, Marnes. The deputy's name's Marnes.
Yeah.
Marnes doesn't want her to be the sheriff to begin with, so he's being mean to her. He's obviously very sad because the mayor died, so he's dealing with that angst. And then we got this infighting between the two law of the show, Juliet and Marnes, as to which case they want to solve. Obviously, Juliet wants to solve George Wilkes' murder, and Marnes wants to solve the mayor's murder. So literally the whole episode, they're just bickering and not accomplishing anything. They do come to an agreement that, you help me with mine, I'll help you with yours, which that's the other thing too, Mike. As soon as they made that agreement, the logical choice to solve first would be the mayor, just because it was more fresh. Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's kind of hyper focused because hers is very personable.
Yeah. The only reason she became sheriff was to solve his. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's that's where she's just hyper focused on that.
Right. But she's smart.
Right.
And she should know the deputy's not going to help her indefinitely. And the solving George's case, especially since it's a dispute amongst the silo whether George was even murdered or not.
Right.
That it would be a much quicker solve to figure out who murdered the mayor. And if she figures out who murdered the mayor, there's probably going to be a connection with who murdered George, right?
Right. But ultimately, I don't think she really cares a whole lot about finding out who killed the mayor. Because
no, I know she doesn't, but that's what I'm saying. She made a deal with Marnes that she would help him solve that murder.
Yeah, ultimately, that's the agreement they came to.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so that's all we got in episode 4.
And, I agree. Episode 4 it didn't move the story along very much. It was kind of just trottling, or I don't even know what the word is, just moving along real slow. Didn't get much of anything.
Yeah. So what say you about episode 5 then?
I thought episode 5 was a lot better than 4. Kind of got some more answers, but it raised more questions. I thought episode 5 was better.
What answer did you get, Mike? What answers did you get?
Who killed Deputy Marnes?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think what's his name's
assistant?
Judicial.
No. We saw who killed Deputy Marnes, and we don't know who it was. We saw who killed Deputy Marnes at the end of episode 4, and it's not the judicial assistant.
It wasn't him?
I
thought it was him.
Well, as far as I'm saying, Jesse agreed. I asked Jesse that same question. I was like, was that the guy that we saw at the end of episode 4? And she said no. And I don't think it was either. So
I'll have to go back and look. I thought it was.
Yeah, he's the patsy. He's the scapegoat. They used him. They used murdering him and him not being able to defend himself as the trying to close the case. Oh, well, now, and remember they gave him the suicide note or whatever.
Yeah.
And
initially he wasn't the patsy though. That's why I think he turned out to be the one. I think Common. I can't remember what his name is.
Yeah, I don't either. Common.
But but they were going to have the guy that punched Marnes was going to be the patsy, but that didn't work out.
Who was going to be the patsy?
The guy that punched Marnes in the face. He had the beard and stuff.
Oh, yeah. So Juliet hides the guy that they're going to frame for the murder of the mayor. And there's this complicated thing where he moved. So they didn't get the right place. My wife's chiming in through comments saying she doesn't think it was him. I told him. Yeah. So then they murder Common, whatever that character's name in the judicial. They murder his assistant, or Common murders his assistant, and then uses him as the scapegoat for who murdered the mayor and the deputy.
I'll have to go back and look at it again.
So is that the only thing you felt like you got answered? Because you said answers plural. Is that the only thing you felt you got answered?
Well, we're seeing a little bit more of trying to remember what his name is. He's at the up top where he's watching the stars and stuff. He's always up in the cafeteria looking out the window.
Did that answer a question, or did that just give another question?
Well, it gave another question. That's the thing. From having read the books, I was looking forward to that character showing up. So that's where I'm enjoying some of the stuff, because I'm enjoying seeing some of these characters come to the screen.
Yeah, that's exactly what Jesse's saying. Yeah.
But other stuff, like a lot of this that happened here, either I forgot it happening in the book or it just didn't happen. They're filling a lot of gaps in. That's what story and stuff. So
yeah, that's what Jesse said too. So as a person that didn't read this book, then I'm just having to take in what they give me.
Yeah.
3, 4, and 5 are huge fails for me. If my wife and you didn't love this book so much, Mike, I'd probably be checking out of the show.
That might be one of their problems. Is I think what's so great about the book is it moves along and you hit.
Well, Jessica said she doesn't like it either.
Oh, I mean, this kind of falls in line with Sweet Tooth, where I like it. I'm not in love with it like I really wanted to be.
Yeah.
And I think because I'm watching it and I'm waiting for them to hit these little certain points, and they're huge gaps in when that's happening. And I think they're spending too much time trying to fill in backstory and tell more of this instead of just moving it along and getting to the excitement.
Well, yeah, you want to put up my wife's commenting, and she says,
see what she said.
Honestly, with how complex and amazing the book series is, she doesn't feel the show is truly capturing the story. You know?
And I think because they're trying to fill in too much. It's almost like they're complicating it.
That's a good way to put it, Mike. That's And not even having read the books, that's how I feel, and that's one thing me and Jesse have said. They actually talk in an overcomplicated kind of vague way all the time. It's like there's no conversation that's just where, it's a normal conversation. It's always this mystery and someone doesn't want to tell something or reveal something to I think the writing of the show is poor, and again, not knowing anything about the book, and just to recap real quick. So we get the wife of the sheriff suicided in the first episode. The second episode, actually, George is killed, which we don't have the answer to his murder yet. And the wife commits suicide, and we don't exactly.
He elects to go out.
Yeah, I mean, which is suicide, and then in the second episode, the sheriff commits suicide by going.
Actually, it's not. I wouldn't consider it suicide because she had a different belief on what was outside. Everyone else thinks that you can't go outside. She believed that you could, that they were being lied to this whole time. And then Sheriff Holston ends up coming to that same belief. I think even though, we could see her out there, I think he comes around thinking, yeah, I can survive out there too. So I don't think they committed suicide and purposely died. I think they believed that they would be fine if they went out.
I can see your argument for the wife on that. I don't see the argument for the husband, though, seeing his wife out there dead. And she's obviously the one that convinced him to believe. Oh, by the way, hey, what's up, your grandpa? Your grandpa's in the room. Shout out. He's been a big contributor to the Whatnot show this past week. And we've actually got 2 new followers this week. Your grandpa's one of them, so he's one of our newest followers. Thank you for being here, your grandpa. Appreciate it.
Cool.
We're butchering Silo right now. I think I was just telling him on the Whatnot show how much I was liking it too, but that was before I watched episode 4 and 5. Which I didn't really care for 3, but I could appreciate. I think you liked it a lot, Mike, because it was action, it was intense and action packed. So I can appreciate why you would like it, although it did frustrate me a little bit. But 4 or 5 is really, digging a grave for me. But anyway, what I was going to say is, I don't think that's a good argument with the sheriff. I think he knew he was committing suicide. He just wanted to be with his wife. He wanted to know the truth, of course, but he knew. I can't see how he wouldn't think he would die. But anyway, aside from that, I just wanted to recap this. So episode 1, the wife and George die. Episode 2, the sheriff dies. Episode 3, the mayor dies. Episode 4, the deputy dies. Episode 5, the assistant to the judicial dies. I mean, people are dropping like flies in here. Okay. And 2 things are striking me about that now. One, which is my major frustration, is we're 5 episodes in and we literally have no answers to any murders whatsoever.
Right.
If me and Jesse are accurate about, we saw a guy at the end of episode 4 killing the deputy and it wasn't the guy they said killed him. We think it's just a scapegoat. But then secondly, before you say what you're going to say, Mike, the second thing that's striking about this is they're constantly talking about how they're trying to maintain order in the silo. There's 5 murders in the last. How many days do you think this 5 episode time frame takes? There's 5 murders in the last,
probably a year.
Week, Oh, you think year? Oh yeah. Okay, from not from the wife and George, but from when the sheriff.
So Holston to now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what? Yeah, episode
Couple weeks.
3, 4, and 5 or whatever.
Yeah. So it's like the it's just like I said, it's frustrating me. I'm not getting answers. Their conversations are annoying. It's kind of like how we talk about Pat all the time about how they just don't talk to each other. These people are talking to each other, but they ain't saying nothing, Pat. No one's saying nothing. That's clear. Everybody's mysterious and vague. It's crazy. But what were we going to say now, Mike?
I think the show is really missing. It's a missed opportunity because, as Jesse's attested, the book series is really, really great. It's so the twists and turns and the reveals are just, it's those ones where you couldn't see it coming. So, we know that I'm like, I can't wait to get there, but they're just dragging their feet and they're adding so much other baggage that's not necessary for the story. So that's the feeling.
It sounds, they're playing a dangerous game, and that some of these criticisms were levied at Last of Us, where they have this good material, and if they don't start hitting the good material, the show isn't going to survive.
Right. And like I said before, I think they're like comic books are written to the trades. I think this is written. They're writing this to hit 10 episodes for season 1, and then 10 episodes for season 2. And I think they're counting on that being the first book of Wool, which, man, they can do the whole thing in 10 episodes. And basically, if they do that, they've got 10 episodes for 3 books. There's 30 episodes. Do it well, get it done, and make your money and be done with it. But they try to drag this stuff off. How many seasons can we get? And they're not going to get a second season if they screw up the first season. They look too far ahead. Just tell the story because it's good. And what's so disheartening is Hugh Howey is directly involved. He's the author. He's directly involved with the production on this, and he's helping the writers fill in some of these stories. And I think it's really doing it a disservice. I really want to love this show.
Yeah, me too.
So I think I'm giving it more of a chance than what you are.
Yeah.
Kevin, I've gotten, a lot more invested in loving it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
I'm trying not to be disappointed in it. So that's the way I'm watching it.
Your grandpa just asked, he just needs to know, is silo a person's name, place, or is an actual silo? Your grandpa.
It's a place, and that's all I'm going to say. Because there's reveals.
Well, okay, I'm going to take the spoiler down. I think we're done talking about the episode first. But to answer that, it's an actual silo, essentially, your grandpa. It takes place in the future when we've kind of ruined the planet, so humans have to live underground in a silo. So it's kind of this, dystopian future, and all that's left are people in a silo. But it's a literal big silo, so anyway. And I have problems with how I envisioned judicial and how I envisioned, IT and these different levels of it. And then I'm seeing it there, and I know things are going to be different, but wow, they're way different. Well, that's why dismiss probably isn't the right word, but for a lack of a better word, I'm going to say that's why I usually dismiss if I've never read a book and someone's read a book and then they hate the movie or the TV show, whatever, because they've read the book. I usually dismiss it in the way that, well, your imagination, you came up with it perfect in your own head when you visualized it. So even if everything else is done well, if it doesn't visually appeal to you in the way you envisioned it in your head when you're reading, it's going to be a fail a lot of times, So that's why I kind of, if I haven't read the book, I kind of take that with a grain of salt, but.
And I will. There is a shining light here. I don't know if Jesse will agree with me, but 2 episodes now. The Juliet's talked to Lucas, the guy up, watching the stars and stuff, and that's going to be a big deal. I'm really hoping that works the way it should. Okay, so that's where I'm also hopeful. Oh, Karen felt the same way Under the Dome. I bailed on that right away, like first episode. Stephen King.
I loved Under the Dome. Me and Karen both loved Under the Dome quite a bit until the end, which I didn't think it was bad. I think Karen liked it less than I did, but I thought it was okay. And I definitely was enjoying the ride to get there. But it was Stephen King, the ending was kind of, but anyway.
Well, the book, the ending was the same way. Well, I don't know if it ended the same way as in it, but the ending was very disappointing. And you read 1,300 pages to get there. Go, really?
Yeah.
Stephen King write 1,200 pages. Give it to me. I'll write the ending. And anyway.
So anyway, for people checking back in, we just kind of beat up Silo every which way possible. Mike's still kind of in, thinking it's okay. I'm actually still in. I'm committed. I'm going to finish the season. My wife's read the book too, so she's going to check it out with me too. Yeah, Karen says the ending in the movie was worse than the book for Under the Dome. But anyway, with Silo, I'm going to give this the past 2 episodes now a 4 bags of popcorn. I mean, seriously. Overall, I might give it a 5.5 tops, because definitely 1 and 2 were interesting. 3 was exciting, even though I didn't really care that it didn't move the story along that well. But 4 and 5 are failing. So that's what you have for Silo. Take it or leave it. Jump on board in the train wreck that I think it is, or jump on board optimistically that Mike thinks it can be. So,
or read the books.
Yes,
seriously,
or
you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, and you already said stay away from the comics on it as well. So.
Yeah. The best thing about the comics are the Darwin Cook covers, in my opinion.
Okay.
So,
man, I only watched 3 things. I was like, oh man, this is cool. My What Kevin Watched is going to be short this week. Sorry, guys. You're up, Mike. I need to check out for a minute while you're up too. Are you ready? Are you ready to be the star right now?
yes, it's right here.
Oh, here we go.
All right, it is now time for pick 3. Our favorite cover selection outside of Cover Combat. All right, these books are hitting the shelf May 31st, this coming Wednesday. I can't believe it's May already. We'll start with Carnage number 13 by Kendrick Lim, Venom Lethal Protector 2 number 3, Paulo Secura. I messed up his name. This one's great because then he also signed it after Steranko and Golden, and we had a lot of fun amongst the 3 of us looking at what covers and what artwork he took this from. Then we have The Rocketeer number 1 by Adam Hughes, Star Wars Dr. Aphra 32, Lionel Francis Yu, then Alien 2, Dave Johnson, Detective 1072, Evan Cagle, Punisher 12, Jesus Saez, Power Girl Special number 1, I guess, Art Germ, World Tree 2 by Danny, and then Horror Comics 24, Brian Denham. So this week wasn't too bad. I had the last 2 that I added to the list was the World Tree 33, which it was kind of on my radar, and I skipped over it. Then when I struggled at the end, I went back to it, and Horror Comics as well. Kind of at the end of the day, I like the X-ray looking effect on that one.
Yeah.
So. I like this week pretty well. There was a typical couple that weren't even on my radar, but I think a far majority of this week was excellent.
Yeah, they got I kind of had an idea on which ones were going to do well, and I wasn't too far off on it.
Oh yeah, I really hope Pat voted for Art Germ again this week.
There you
go. Maybe everybody else did. Who knows? Let's find out.
Who knows?
Right?
Yep.
All right. Coming in 3rd place, our 3rd favorite cover of the week. And this, I'm pleased to say. Whoops. I forgot about this.
Nice.
Alien. I forgot.
Wow. This Sorry.
Number 3 got a drum roll.
This was one of my 2 that I thought was subpar for the week, actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I didn't care for this one at all, really. I thought I think the aliens look cooler when it's real kind of sleek and awesome, violence. Obviously this is a violent cover, but this is kind of Scotty Youngish, I guess. I don't know, it's that's why I didn't care for it much.
This may have been the first time I heard Scotty Young compared to Dave Johnson.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mean in the way they look. I mean in the way it's portrayed. It's like cartoony. You know what I mean? It's like that. Not that they're similar art, but just that it's kind of not real art kind of thing. You know what I'm trying to say?
It's not the real. It doesn't have that
realistic. Yeah.
That some of the painted stuff does, and some of the computer stuff does. Yeah. I love this because of the silhouette and just the posing and everything. I think a lot of times those alien covers are kind of Batman on a gargoyle type,
Yeah,
it's like,
you're right
how
about
many
that.
times have I seen this? That's why this one was so striking to me, and I voted for this one as well. I love it.
Gotcha.
All right,
Well, I'm a big Alien fan, so I definitely it was one I wanted to
like.
go.
What's neat, what Marvel's doing, you can see on this one, they've got this 20th Century logo up in the corner. They're doing that with this and the Planet of the Apes books now.
What's the deal with that? Do you know, like it's just a theme essentially?
Those are the studios, the movie studios that.
Yeah, no, but just putting that logo on there is like a theme.
Yeah, I think since those 2 books are owned by this, the studio.
Yeah. Okay.
They're just doing that.
Gotcha.
That's kind of cool.
I don't know if maybe the story is based more on the movie because that's up there, that kind of thing.
I haven't read these yet, but as far as I know.
No. Gotcha.
Next up, and this one I'm pleasantly surprised with. I figured this was going to do pretty well. We have.
Hey, Mike, don't forget about the drum roll.
I forgot about the drum roll. The Rocketeer #1 by Adam Hughes.
Nice.
I like this one a lot as well. Yeah.
I don't know what Betty Page has to do with Rocketeer, but
it didn't. Well, it's the same time. It's the same era, right? Yeah. And if you haven't read this, maybe she's in this. Who knows?
The character is based on Betty Page. Yeah.
Was she? Okay.
Yeah, Cliff's girlfriend. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this one a lot. But yeah, it didn't make my top 3 still. I'm doing bad so far this week, but I liked it a lot. That's for sure.
2 for 2.
Nice.
Yeah, I was 2 for 3. I missed out on the first one. I did not vote for the #1 cover of the week, which is Carnage #13, Kendrick Lim.
Should have guessed.
Yeah, I did. I'm like, when I put these together, I was like, you know what? This Carnage cover is going to kick all other butts.
Yeah, I didn't vote for any of the top 3.
Yep, I got #2 and 3 for me. I think
Pat, you definitely didn't vote for this #1 either. What was your third one, Pat?
The detective cover.
Yeah, I voted for detective. What was your third one, Mike?
Oh geez, I can't even remember now. Let me find it.
Can you put them up real quick?
It's like, oh man, I only voted for 2.
Oh, I voted for Power Girl. I voted for Detective, and I voted for. Wait, did I vote for that? I might have voted for Rocketeer. Actually.
Yeah, you did. No, Carnage. Yeah,
I voted for Carnage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I voted for Star Wars, Dr. Aphra.
Yeah, I like that one too. And I also, but I just kind of thought it was kind of a boring cover. But I also like that Punisher cover.
The Punisher is my second one that wasn't on my radar.
Yeah, it was cool.
So
Yeah, Kevin was Detective, Carnage,
and Power Girl.
Oh, did you say that? I was. Yeah.
Yeah.
The great thing is every single cover received at least one vote.
That's what I was going to say. That World Tree, yeah, and I know got a vote in my house. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So they all at least got a vote, which is great.
That World Tree definitely looks interesting. I've seen the cover for issue number 2 now too, and yeah, it looks pretty interesting. I don't have no idea what's going on, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I haven't tried to read it. Maybe I'll try to read it for next week.
Okay.
I don't see anything else.
And that Venom's an homage, right? Isn't that Venom an homage to a Punisher book?
It's it is a combination of two different things. I think the background is Steranko's influence from his Nick Fury, and the actual character is Michael Golden. Was that some G.I. Joe stuff?
Yeah, it was a G.I. Joe special.
Okay.
Oh, G.I. Joe. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Which then Rob Liefeld blatantly ripped off for a Cable or for a New Mutants Cable pose.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's what you shared. Yep.
Why do you say blatantly ripped off instead of homaging, Pat?
Because it's almost as he traced that most of it. The gun is a duplicate.
And I don't think he said the whole qualifying after Michael Golden. So
okay.
Yeah, it's almost like, okay, look, different time, different era. We'll give him a pass. He was young. But he's one of the guys that will, gets really upset if somebody swipes his stuff.
Oh, really? Okay.
Very vocal about it, which is cool, but
don't be a hypocrite. Got it.
Don't be throwing stones in glass houses. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's happened to Art Germ?
Yeah, this is 2 that he did. Like, he really changed. I mean, this is almost, this is a whole torso.
Yeah,
Last week was Storm, had a lot of extra stuff on there.
The further he zooms out, the less his popularity.
Yeah, everybody likes that huge close-up headshot.
Apparently that must be what it is. Yeah, it didn't make the top 3 either week. Amazing.
I didn't think this was a bad cover either. But it was just like, yeah, but it's sort of similar to his usual stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
All right. Very cool.
Let's pick 3.
Looking forward to it. Trying to make it there every week now. So I'll definitely, if I can catch that Art Germ on the is that Power Girl number 1? You said, right?
Yeah, it's Power Girl special. I think it's just one shot.
Oh, it's a one shot. Okay, I'll definitely be grabbing a few of those.
Yeah, I did not make it this week.
Getting them on the whatnot shelf. Those will go like hotcakes. As soon as a Scotty Young comes out too, I need to grab like 5 of every Scotty Young cover. Every single show, someone comes to the room. Scotty Young.
Well, he's doing.
Yeah, Karen's a big Scotty Young fan.
he's doing like website exclusive, so you can go to his website and he's doing books there that you can only get there. Now they'll run you, $15-20 with shipping and stuff like that. But those are the ones that are going to be really hot on the the aftermarket stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, cool. I get to go first this week. Yay. Are you ready to hear more of my thoughts, Patrick?
Sure, let's go.
All right, awesome.
Boy, I hope you got the book ready.
Boy, that was one of them there train wrecks that worked. It was good. Me cutting you off at the intro in the middle of a sentence and then the laughter cutting over the entire intro. That was good. That was awesome. Right? Responses? Okay, good. Crickets. Got it. Okay, anyway. Yes, Mike, referencing your comment, I did get Vanish.
Yeah.
Number 1 and Vanish number 2 read. The only qualifier I got, not that it really matters, is these are not the 2 covers that I read, and I was unable to find mine, but I could swear I bought this cover of Vanish number 1 because this was highlighted Didn't this actually place in the top 3 on a pick 3 one week, right? Didn't it?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think so.
But again, my friend Mike not only hooked me up with a login to be able to watch Shazam, he also hooked me up with, like I said, Vanish 1 and 2. So I got both of those read.
Let's just hope that the review is better than Shazam.
Well, your hopes are coming true. Okay, first of all, this is Vanish by Donnie Cates and Ryan Stegman. And don't be fooled by the impression that the covers may give you. The character on this cover's name is not Vanish. Okay? There is a character in this book named Vanish, though. I just wanted to kind of lead off by that. And I just, as I already mentioned, this was in the pick 3. I think it placed. But then secondly, man, I don't know. And I'm always the one of the group that never, I shouldn't say never, most of the time doesn't pay attention to who I'm reading or whose art I'm looking at. So then it doesn't register for me to remember. But I can't remember the last Ryan Stegman book I read, but man, I loved his art in this. This is great. What may be that you probably think, obviously you guys knowing my comic book habits, what Ryan Stegman do you think I've possibly read before that I'd be familiar with if you said it right now? Is there any?
Spider-Man, Venom.
Yeah, that's
all
the
over
line
the place.
that he's mostly. That's where I would put him. What Patrick said, Spider-Man and Venom.
Recent?
No,
Semi-recent.
Yeah,
Okay.
not a couple years ago, but I mean, he does random covers here and there.
Yeah, the covers I've seen, but as far as the interior art, that's what I'm like really struck by in this book.
Because he was on the previous Venom run, wasn't he? Early on.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was him and Donnie Cates.
Yeah.
Okay. Are they usually a team? Or they work together a lot?
I think that's probably how this came about.
Okay.
I'm working on the Venom book.
Okay.
Hey, we should do a book together on our own.
Gotcha. Well, it's awesome. I mean, obviously, I've already said it. I'll say it one more time. I love the art. Love the art in both of these by Ryan Stegman. And it was very. And again, when I hesitate to say stuff like this because of the criticism I'm probably going to get, but it was very reminiscent of Todd interiors for me for a lot of it. Does that seem crazy to you guys?
No.
Yes. I'm not insane. Got it. Anyway. This story totally blatantly rips off Harry Potter. This is essentially a hardcore, violent Harry Potter comic book, and I'm only half joking. Can I get some laughter today?
Yeah. All you got to do is tell a good joke. Oh man, come on!
There we go.
All right, I'm with you, Kevin. It's a tough crowd.
Well, essentially, I should say, can I get some response, whether it be crickets or laughter, rather than complete silence? But anyway, the half I'm joking about is it's not a blatant ripoff, but this is very similar to Harry Potter in the way that this book starts off. We're in a place called the Mistlands of Everkeep. Okay. The kid's name on the cover, and he's a kid in the beginning of one. He's not a kid with the way he looks on the cover. He's a kid named Oliver, and in the Mistlands of Everkeep, there is a man named Orin. He is the lead wizard of Everkeep, and the rest of it is a bunch of kid wizards that he's teaching how to learn, teaching them powers and honing their abilities, yada yada. Like I said, Harry Potter, very, very similar. But basically what gets, again, this is a little Harry Potter-ish, but on the opposite end. So what happens at the end of Harry Potter kind of happens at the beginning of this book. The character, his name is Baron Vanish. Okay, he's the bad guy in this comic. He comes in to the Mistlands of Everkeep and just destroys the place, kills Orin. That's how this story sets off. Okay. Oliver, which is the kid you see in the picture here, and his two friends, Eleanor and Dustin, excuse me, end up stopping Vanish, or not stopping, killing Vanish at the beginning of this story. So as far as I know so far, and this, what I'm describing is going to bleed over 1 and 2. Vanish is dead. So the name of this book being Vanish at this point in the story seems very odd to me. He's literally killed in the first 4 pages of the first book, and he's the big baddie. But he has a following, and the follow, like the follow, what do you call the followers in Harry Potter? With what's his name? The name that should never be spoken's people, that always fight with him. What are they called?
I don't know. I never read that book.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So anyway, the followers of Vanish are.
Let me text my wife. I'll find out.
Okay, if my wife's listening, she's going to chime in too.
Yeah, she'll chime in.
Anyway, so incidentally, Vanish, by the way, he was this big tarantula-looking guy. Like, he looked very similar. All of these wizards wear that kind of DNA. Voldemort. Yeah, I was looking for Voldemort's followers, though, Karen. The people, all the whatever. But anyway, when you look at this cover of Vanish #1, that kind of split DNA thing looking that's in front of him like that's basically it's a big trench coat that he walks around where it's together all the time, and he's just kind of making a move on this cover so it's opening, but it's like a trench coat and they're together, essentially looking like a big zipper. That's the school uniform of Everkeep. So when you first see Vanish, he kind of looks similar to this, except he has he's got like spider legs. He's a human, but with spider legs coming out of the front of him. It's really creepy and crazy. But they managed to kill him right away. But his followers were not killed. They ran as soon as Vanish is killed. So that happens when they're kids. So now we fast forward into the future, and Oliver, who's the main character, is an adult now, and that's who's on the cover of, I think, what I'm showing at least, of Vanish 1 and Vanish 2. He's actually on the cover of the ones you gave me too, Mike. He's just way more subtle on the covers because there's a lot of other things actually going on the covers you loaned me. But essentially, we're in the future, and when the kids are part of this wizard school, they're branded with this dove flying through a circle on their chest. And the reason they're branded is because it's kind of a magical spell that Orin puts over all these kids, that whenever evil is around, this brand that's on them will kind of spidey sense, kind of give them some pain. It actually seems more like pain than spidey sense, but essentially the same thing. And we fast forward into the future. The Hollow, which is the followers of Vanish, reminder again, ran away when the events of the past happen. But then in the future, we come across Oliver. He seems like he's given up on life. The only popularity and the only fame he's ever known that made him happy was when he killed Vanish. He was very popular amongst Everkeep and all of the lore of Everkeep. Everybody thinks of him as, the killer of Vanish. It's very exciting for him. But those feelings have surpassed. And, sorry. We see him basically giving up. Did you think that pause I was just looking for a laugh? You're just laughing at me. Thanks, Karen. Anyway, so he's given up on life. He's become an alcoholic. He has this big monologue through an entire page about how his day goes, and it starts with drugs, goes through Death Eaters. Wait, Michael Pinchak says Death Eaters.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
So anyway, he goes through this whole page monologue about how he starts his day with drugs. Most of his day is consumed by alcohol. He ends it with drugs. He has to put himself to sleep with. He's just a lost addict. Okay. Then he gets mugged, and a superhero comes to save him, and does. But when this superhero comes to save him, his Spidey sense emblem goes off. So he knows that this is one of the followers of Vanish that's actually pretending to be a superhero. So he lets the follower of Vanish know, hey, I know you're one of the Hollow. I don't know why you're faking being a superhero. You're done. And he still has his powers and everything. So they get in this fight. He ends up beating him. And they have a ring. The Vanish followers have a ring. He takes the Vanish followers' ring and puts it on, and it all of a sudden makes him revived. He's like, he looks younger. He's got all his energy back. He doesn't feel like he needs alcohol and drugs anymore. It just changes him immediately, right? But now he's on a mission because he thinks the Hollow are back. You know, they've come back around to stir up trouble, and now he's on a mission to hunt down all of the members of the Hollow to bring them to justice, because even though he killed Vanish, all the Hollow ran, but the Hollow were just as involved with Vanish in destroying everything these kids ever knew in the midst of Everkeep. So it's essentially a revenge story, and the interesting part here is, okay, so Orin, which is the leader of Everkeep, actually takes the kids on a field trip every year and cloaks them so they can't be seen and they can't interact. Takes them on a field trip every year to the human domain, okay? And shows them something horrific that's happened in humanity as an example to the children as to why wizards should never get involved, never help humans, because they're just self-destructive. They're beyond help, essentially. Okay, like and actually in the first few pages of Vanish 2 actually reenact 9/11. They actually show the whole thing as Orin and the children of Everkeep that are going to his school are watching in this cloaked bubble, and he's telling them about, see, it doesn't make any sense to help these humans, right? So that's Orin's take. So Vanish used to be a student of Orin. Vanish left Everkeep because he wants to help humans with the problems of their life. Okay? So
he seems like a good guy.
Exactly. That's where the conflict is in this that makes this story interesting. So the Hollow have taken on the superhero role in the human world to be good guys. Who knows whether it's actually they're being, that's actually what they're doing, or there's some kind of trickery happening. But as far as the story's letting us know, they want to be good guys. They're trying to help humanity, but that is a big no-no in the laws of Everkeep and all the wizards that were ever taught there. Okay, so Vanish is essentially it's like I said, it's extremely complicated or complex in the way that to us, Vanish is this revenge story. He's getting revenge for wrongs done to him in the past. But in the book, not Vanish, but Oliver. Not Oliver. Vanish died, I said. I misspoke there. But Oliver has taken on this role of revenge to get back at the Hollow for what he did in his childhood. But the Hollow are playing good guys in the real world. So Oliver has to take on this bad guy mantle to try to because he just wants revenge to destroy them. And incidentally, he doesn't believe they're being good natured in their. He thinks they're just hiding under being superheroes. He doesn't believe they're actually wanting to be superheroes. But all they are doing is good things. Like I said, when he first meets up with the first student of Vanish, that student is saving Oliver from muggers. So he actually comes across him doing a good deed, so you don't know what to believe. But it's very interesting because we're following Oliver essentially as a good guy that's doing bad things by taking out superheroes. But the superheroes are the bad guys that are pretending to be good guys. That's where we are in issue 2.
So I'm glad that it sounds so awesome.
Huh?
I'm glad that it's awesome.
Yeah, I can't. I'll probably read 3, 4, and 5 for next week because we know I have those 3 issues. Or if 5 came out last. Yeah, I definitely have the next couple issues myself, so I don't have to borrow any more years. I can just grab them. I can't wait. I'm really excited to read it. Might be one of the first times I read something this weekend. It's a long weekend too, but this is great. I love it. The art's great. It's a very interesting, odd take on a story that's kind of basic. It's a basic story, but it's flipped on its head, which makes it interesting. So incidentally, and this is probably a little bit of foreshadowing and part of the storytelling. They do talk about how there's many, not just the followers of Vanish of the Hollow. There are many wizards that broke rules at Everkeep that were banished from Everkeep, but they had their abilities. So there are many wizards in the real world that are pretending to be superheroes. Mm-hmm. So not all of them are with the Hollow. I'm gonna keep hitting the mic. So anyway, this is a big get it. I'm actually, if you want something fresh, as far as I'm concerned, this is a must-have. If you're looking to stray from, typical superhero stuff, looking for something completely fresh, and this is only 5, 6 issues old right now, get in on the ground floor. This is awesome, as far as I'm concerned. I give it at least a must-have if you're looking for something fresh, so.
Awesome.
Good.
All right. Thank you, studio audience. Appreciate it. Okay, cool. Your grandpa. Your grandpa's back. Thank you, your grandpa. Appreciate it. All right, what you got, Pat?
Yeah. The short story is get Vanish.
Yeah, that's all you've missed so far is Silo's disappointing and get Vanish.
All right, so I had to dip back into the well a little bit here because I've been probably spending too much time with this. So I previously had read Fantastic Four 5, and this week my lone book I read was Fantastic Four 6.
Hold on a second. You just can't sneak that in real quick, Pat, and not say anything about it, okay?
The Zelda?
It's the new Zelda game, obviously.
Yeah.
So since you're spending way too much time with it, it's awesome, I guess?
Well, my first take on it was it's too similar to Breath of the Wild, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. But the problem is getting time on the game with 2 other people in the household that also want to play it. So
yeah. Yeah, Tyler just got this too. Yeah. You definitely should, your grandpa. Vanish. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, so reading. I did Fantastic Four 5 and 6. Yeah, I know. It is tough to find time.
Your grandpa, I don't know whether you're saying those comments so fast or Karen waited till a bunch of them got together, just boom, boom, boom.
Anyway. Yeah, this is Fantastic Four 5 and 6 by the writers Ryan North. I get my mug off of here. And there's a fill-in artist for these 2 issues by the name of Ivan Fiorelli. The usual artist, Ivan Coelho. I feel like his style is very similar. So that's not saying a lot in my opinion. It does its job, but it's nothing great in my opinion. The only bad point for Ivan Fiorelli is that his thing is subpar. That's tough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get him wrapped in these two nice Jack Kirby covers though. But anyway, so Fantastic Four back together, not on good terms with the rest of the world because they put the Baxter building in the surrounding area a year into the future, so we got some time to kill till that all rolls back around again. So Fantastic Four, they had saved Thing and Alicia, so now they're on a road trip to the Thing's Aunt Petunia for some reason. I guess they got nothing better to do. So on their way there, they encounter randomly the Salem Seven, they're kind of a wacky bunch from the 70s who I have sort of a soft spot for because they were in some initial books of the Fantastic Four when I first started collecting. But they don't really do much here. The leader of the group, Nicholas Scratch, he casts a spell on the Fantastic Four. See if you can follow me in here. It puts them into the fourth dimension, which makes them incompatible with bacteria on our plane of existence.
What?
So basically, if they eat anything, it's going to make them sick. They're out of sync. They're in a different dimension, the dimensional plane, still existing in where we're at, but they've been shunted to this other plane, so they're not compatible with where they're at. It's magic comic book stuff.
Okay. Okay.
So we need Reed Richards to solve this problem, and this is beginning to become a crutch for this book for Ryan North. I can kind of see where it would be interesting, but he bogs things down way too much with this Reed trying to figure things out through science and all these long-winded explanations. That's always been sort of, Reed's tag is, he's a boring character, Mr. Science, wordy, but
yeah.
Here, boy, Ryan North takes a deep dive into Reed Richards, and he wants to draw out everything he does, has to have this long explanation and try to make it make sense. And it's just not fun and exciting to read. No pun intended. But I will say one thing about what they're doing with Reed in this series is it's a blessing and a curse. He's sort of going down the Plastic Man route, where typically Reed is sort of this stoic, intelligent person. His powers are mainly wrap somebody up, stretch and grab something. He's doing all kinds of weird Plastic Man-y things in this series so far, where he'll stretch parts of his body out. He'll stretch his eyeball out to take close looks at things, or make his ears bigger, or make his hands bigger. It's just, I don't know. It's bordering on too much. It's sort of like leave that for the more humorous Plastic Man. Reed's always been more of a serious character. It's kind of a unique take, lately for how people have done Reed. So it may hit or miss for you there too, on top of all the, I think over the top science stuff. So they've got to solve this problem with science. They need to go back to the other dimension and get rephased into our dimension. They do that, and Reed says, just make sure we don't bring back any of this stuff from this dimension back into our plane, because that will be, trouble. So of course that's what happens. Unbeknownst to them, they bring back some bacteria from the fourth dimension. Now they have the opposite problem as what they did in issue 5. As we get into issue 6, that bacteria is now on our Earth, and if there's no way to get rid of it, it's gonna go unchecked, and it's just gonna wipe out the entire Earth. So now they have to come up with something to solve this problem. And here we go again. It's just, it's kind of like the same story told twice. Reed, sciencing up things, and They basically the you kind of see it here on the cover. They basically read in the thing in Alicia Stay on Earth, and they send Johnny and the Invisible Woman up into the upper atmosphere, and what she is going to do is to somehow bend the light or block out the light to make the sunlight so there's no sunlight where this bacteria manifested on our plane for 3 days to kill off the bacteria before it spreads further from the origin point. So yeah, just, sort of far-fetched comic booky scientific nonsense that they go on way too long about trying to explain. I don't know what to think. I think next issue they're promising like Doctor Doom. I don't need any more road trips. I don't need any more lengthy scientific explanations, because right now this is trending into forget it territory for this book for me. Something better happen soon. It's weird because I've done a little digging around the internet, and a lot of people really seem to like this book. They say it's sort of like a refreshing change of pace, sort of that Batman Superman World's Finest that Mark Waid's doing, sort of a throwback book, but I'm not digging it in that way for sure. I much more enjoy the Mark Waid book. It's like I said, these Ryan North better turn things back around. I don't know if Ivan Coelho is back on board next issue, but yeah, it's forget it.
Dang.
Wow, if it's a forget it from you, geez. For Fantastic Four. That's rough. Would you say that if it weren't as wordy as you're describing for Richards, and if they weren't Plastic Manning Richards' abilities, do you think those are deciding factors for you to make it a forget it?
It's just the stories aren't very engaging or exciting.
As well. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Hopefully in the next issue he doesn't use Skittles or anything to.
Please, God. Please, yes. All right, Mike, what do you got?
All right. You read
the same book 5 times?
Yep. No, I just love all these covers. I actually read the third one there.
Incidentally, shout out to your grandpa if he's still around too. Your grandpa actually purchased one of these from us. It was awesome.
Yeah. Oh,
nice.
He got the top left cover. I don't know what that is, the D cover, I think. He got the top left cover.
I think that's the A cover.
Oh, I thought the A cover was the middle one, no?
No, that's the B cover, and I'll talk about that at the end of my review.
Okay, so I think he got the A cover. I kept the B cover for myself, but we still got the other 3 that I'm going to be offering up on Whatnot again. Sorry, shameless plug. Go, Mike.
Yeah, I the third cover I actually gave to Mark because I let him pick, and I didn't show him the second cover there.
That's real. That puts you into Iron Giant territory for me on that cover.
Yeah, I love that one. So, and I love it even more after reading issue number 1. So this is Astrobots number 1. This came out May 3rd, so I'm a little late to getting it reviewed. Simon Furman is the writer and Hector Trunick is the artist. This is my first time seeing his artwork. I think Patrick's well aware of his stuff. We had talked about it a few weeks ago when that second cover there, the B cover, made our number 2 in our pick 3.
Nice.
So the story so far, it's based on what's called Colony World 1, and there's a city on there. It's called Atlas City. And what's happened is from Earth, the humans had sent astrobots to this Colony World 1, and they're to build what is now Atlas City, which will then allow humans to come to Colony World 1 and colonize Atlas City. so the and where we are now, the first of 3 vessels are approaching the planet, which it's bringing 50,000 humans. And we're finding out that they're not ready. There were some issues going on. We've got, well, let me back up just a little bit. The city is run by Consul Atlas, and he is, let me show you what he looks like. The designs, the character designs are awesome. And I was never into Robotech or even the Transformers.
Robotech vibes.
Yeah, I was never into any of those things, but this book has really got my attention.
Awesome.
So that's Consul Atlas, and he's kind of in charge of everything. And there are rebel groups, because you can't have anything nice. There are rebel groups made up of different astrobot types. And there's kind of this thing they mention, these Westgate files, and which those files kind of, I guess they contain the history of Atlas City's creation. And it seems like maybe there was some wrongdoings going on that were covered up by, Consul Atlas. And these rebel groups are trying to, bring that to daylight. And obviously our favorite cover was that second one. And Apollo Unit 8 is who that character is, and he emerges from this area called the Dead Zone, which is it surrounds Atlas City. And Apollo units were designed to self deactivate once their task has been completed. And Atlas is under the assumption, and everybody's under the assumption, that all of them have self deactivated because whatever their mission was had been accomplished well in the past of Atlas City's being built. So that's where he ends up coming out of the Dead Zone, coming into Atlas City, and that's where I'll leave it. I don't want any spoilers or anything, but I've got some questions here. What is the Dead Zone? And that's what he's coming to tell us. And how come Apollo is still activated? What's in the Westgate files, and how will the humans react? They're getting ready. They're going to be landing in about 14 hours from where this takes place. So we probably next few. I think it's a 5 or 6 issue series. So this is a get it. I would say must have if you're into robot and sci-fi stuff. This is definitely a must have. It's well written, easy to follow. Amazing artwork from Hector Trunick. I really want to look into more of his stuff. And what I want to talk about, that second cover, we'll go back up to all of these covers. So issue 2 comes out June 7th. Issue 3 is July 12th. 4 is August 16th. And issue 5 is September 13th. If you want to get Hector Trunick's covers, they're all B covers. So he's like the main artist, but he doesn't even do the A cover. So B covers all the way through. Here's the hiccup. Except for issue number 5, there's no cover by him solicited.
Yep.
Talk
Makes
about
no sense.
Yeah, like with I gave Kevin my Vanish covers. I'm getting the Daniel Warren Johnson variants. It's a nice looking set. Here, I'm trying to put this set together, and issue number 5 doesn't have one by the series artist. But anyway, this is a get it borderline must have. It's a must have if you're into this sci-fi robot stuff. I think you'll love it, but it's definitely at the very least a get it. And that is my review.
I've got 2 things real quick. One, you started to say the humans were coming and they weren't ready. Who was the robots or the humans? And what?
Yeah, Atlas City. Atlas City isn't ready because there are these rebel groups, and they're doing some nefarious stuff. They're creating diversions. They're blowing up stuff over here to draw attention there, and then they're breaking in and I'll tell a little bit more. They're armed now. So and the humans are getting ready. So you've got Atlas or what's his name? Consul Atlas. He's worried that, you know, he's got these little uprisings to deal with, and the humans are coming and they're expecting a utopia, and it's not that. So, and then we've got, Apollo just shows up out of the dead zone, and he finally gets a meeting with Atlas, and that's kind of how it ends. So we're looking for those answers in issue 2. But yeah, it's like all this chaos right as the humans are now arriving. The first of 3 waves.
Gotcha.
So, you know, it's always tough when you're getting ready for company. You know, you're always scrambling.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, here comes company, and the dog throws up. Oh no.
Pat, have you read it? Did you read it?
Yeah, I did read it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I was the same thing, Mike. I was doing my ordering, and I'm like looking at the covers. I'm like, come on. So I'm getting the action figure cover because I didn't really care for the rest of them. And I also wanted to say they keep in all the hype for the book and the advertising for the book. They're advertising Hector as a heavy metal artist, so you probably have his stuff, Kevin. And
okay. I'll have to look into that. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be looking into it as well.
Well, very cool. You know what? So to close it out here, then, you know what? I'm going to read it this week as well. And, you know, maybe we might have a first where we're all 3 reading one book, and we can you know, discuss our, you know, every time. You can be the one to keep reviewing. Obviously, you've started, Mike, if you want to be the one to be the, you know, essential reviewer. But if we're all, you know, like Pat just chimed in on it, I'll read number 1 next week. You know, we can get absolutely every issue. That'd be great. Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to think you're going to love it.
Okay. It definitely seems like I would from what you're saying. That's for sure. So, okay.
And your grandpa, I'm going to bet he's going to love it too. It's that good.
Awesome. Okay.
I mean, the thing about the book is, even if it turns out to be a stinker of a story, his artwork is, it's what you see on the cover is what you see in the interiors.
Yeah.
You know, it's all painted like that, and it's just awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll throw that up again. It's just, I love that panel. It's so cool. And then I told Marcus, I'm like, there's an action figure for it. And then it's $85, I think. I just looked quickly. I think Patrick may have mentioned it, the price when he talked about it. So yeah.
Really did you? Did you show us you showed us the action figure?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. What was the price that was really rough? Yeah. So
I mean, I think the first run of them was around 60, and now it's around the 80, 85. I think, if I remember correctly. And there's more than just Apollo. I can't remember.
Well, hopefully he succeeds and continues. You know, if it's great. That's what I always. It's funny psychologically with me. If I know it's going to be a limited series out of the gate, I'll read it and feel the way I feel about it differently than if I don't know it's a limited series and, you know, I'll assume there's going to be more, you know, that kind of thing, you know. So
I assume the structure of the book is, if it does well, to do more, you know.
Okay. Gotcha.
They're scratching, you know, the tip of the iceberg here. I'm sure there's so much more they could do. So
well, that'd be great if they could. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Especially, you know, if they delve into, the Westgate files. I don't know how much they're going to get into that, but that could be a whole other, you know, mini series to get into that event. Yeah. So, yep. And that's from, what did I say? Whatnot Publishing. It's one of their, I don't know how many they have out now, but,
have you planned that? That's twice now. Your grandpa's asking the exact question you're commenting on.
So no, it is not. There are multiple things that Whatnot's come out with.
I think I've seen at least 3. Do you know how many there are, Pat?
Yeah, I think in the latest previews, I think they have at least 4 or 5 books. And they keep there. It seems to be, you know, they're sort of co-branded Whatnot and Massive. Massive does a lot of the books, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know if Massive is going to become its own publisher imprint. You know, I think the name of Whatnot helped them get the ball rolling, and they keep using this tagline like "massive things are coming." It's almost like they're going to split off and be their own, but I that's just speculation. I don't know.
So maybe Whatnot is more like Diamond to Marvel, Whatnot to Massive, essentially, kind of thing. Or not Diamond. Yeah, Diamond.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
All
right, awesome.
With anybody, Diamond can be struggling them doors.
That was a whole other thing we talked about this week. Yeah. Diamond lost. Who'd they lose this week?
Image.
They've
lost the top 5.
Didn't they? Oh, they already lost Dark Horse and IDW, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, all of them. It's crazy. Anyway, yeah. So we talked about the preview show coming the second week of June. We're gonna have to. We might just keep that name because it's cool, but it might have to involve a lot more than previews because there isn't gonna be much in there.
Yeah. We're gonna have to go elsewhere for some of the DC stuff and all that, but it's out there. We'll get it.
Yeah. All right, cool. Pat, are you ready?
Ready.
Oh yeah, sorry to wrap that up. I gotta get it. Border must have. Pat's got a borderline must or forget it. Sounds like he's bordering on hard pass. I don't think we've had a hard pass yet, have we? I don't know. But and then of course Mike Love and Astrobot. So all right. Now are you ready, Pat?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, cool. Here we go.
All right. Not a big week, so it's kind of a good thing because we're kind of getting here. We're getting up there in length of the show. So the reason I wanted to pop this up is because it's, one of our most discussed covers, I think, is Uncanny X-Men 207. And they're doing this pop comic cover of Wolverine, which I thought
that's a good cover. Yeah.
I think that displays well. I think it's, I like the Wolverine and the cover. So yeah, this is a Funko website exclusive if you're looking for it. It's
of course it is.
Yeah. It's not.
I don't have any of these, and now this is one that I would want, and I can't just go to Target and get it. Great.
Yeah, the prices on the pops are pretty reasonable, though, it seems.
Yeah, I don't think they jack up their exclusive prices too much on their website, but I don't know about shipping though, so watch out for that.
Yeah.
Super 7, just a little bit from them this week. They've already put a figure of this out, but they're doing a special 50th anniversary of Jet Jaguar. He's sort of in the flying pose and the Godzilla reaction line.
Nice.
That's gonna run you $20, typical reaction price. A quick little hit here. This is a Target exclusive on the, where are we at here? The Micro Galaxy. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Do you know if he's posable at all, or do his arms just come down and up like that?
I think they're sort of in that touchdown pose. He's like, he can either have them up or down. So
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Sticking to the naming, they have limited articulation, so I just assume they swivel up and down.
Okay.
The Micro Galaxy Squadron. This is a Target exclusive. It's the Return of the Jedi Attack on the Death Star 2 pack. I continue to admire these from afar. I haven't bought any of them, but I think they're pretty cool. And these are all they've been released. The Falcon has been released. The ties have been released, but they're this has Lando and Nine Numb and a couple other people just make an exclusive to the.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Run.
Yeah.
Marvel Legends news this week. We saw announced. No packaging yet. This is another Squadron Supreme 2-pack of Nighthawk and Blur. What's that?
I need to get all these.
Kevin's a big fan. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always been a big fan of Squadron Supreme. I was looking and going, that's all right.
Yeah. How many is this out now? Is this just the second pack that's out of them?
Yeah, I think it's the second 2-pack. I think the first one was Hyperion and Dr. Spectrum.
Yeah, okay.
But it has, I mean, it's just an early look. It hasn't been announced and put on sale yet. The other Marvel Legends, we have a box set, a 5-figure box set of the West Coast Avengers. They've recently released, some other figures, West Coast related, the Hawkeye, the Sky Cycle. So this sort of makes sense in the overall scheme of their marketing. These are sort of repaints or lesser known characters that are getting another chance. Tiger's been out before. There's the back of the box. You can see the accessories that come with. Tiger has an alternate head. Most of them just have alternate hands. So there's not a lot of extra parts here. Iron Man, Mockingbird, Tigra, Spider-Woman, and Hank Pym, when he was sort of known as Dr. Pym in that run.
What was he doing at that point?
Shrinking stuff, growing stuff.
So he didn't do it himself, though? He just was doing it to stuff?
Yeah, he would do a lot of that, carry stuff around and throw it out there. Sort of like we saw in the movies. They kind of leaned into that in the movies where they would, carry things around and then unleash it giant size.
Yeah. Okay.
He did a lot of that. I think they got a lot of that from this West Coast run when Hank was not actively a superhero himself. He just kind of maneuver and manipulate things.
I don't know anything about why Spider-Woman had a black costume either.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was she liked Spider-Man's costume coming back from the Secret Wars. I don't know.
Just made the change. He just changed her outfit, but no power.
Yeah,
no power changes.
I thought she had it first.
Yeah, you might be right, Mike.
And I thought
what?
Because Spider-Man was like, maybe she influenced me. I can't remember.
Yeah, because didn't Reed Richards create something where for the uniforms to be fixed or I don't know. It's been so long.
They found a machine.
Thinking of that.
Yeah, they found a machine that would repair or construct clothing for them on Battle World during the Secret Wars, and that's where everybody got their fixed their uniforms or made new uniforms. And they said, "Oh yeah, Spider-Man, it's over there," and he picked the wrong machine.
Okay. So you guys are saying she was black before Spidey, then?
I think so.
Yeah, I think you might be right there.
Huh.
Well, I guess I know what we're reading next week.
Stay tuned for a classic. Get it or forget it.
Yeah. Like there's get it or forget it. We're on the fence.
So we'll head over to the Asian territories for these two. This is just a preview of an SH Figure Arts figure, and it's their Indiana Jones from Raiders of the Lost Ark. And it kind of, they're showing they can do things better than Hasbro sometimes. That's SH Figure Arts for you. Though not a lot of information here. This is just a preview. Sometimes
what do they usually run?
Yeah, they're usually in the 40 to 50 to 60. It depends on if they're like maxed out deluxe figures or if they're just like the basic figure. They're definitely more expensive than the average Hasbro figure, but
better.
Yeah. So okay, so we'll get to what I teased. Do you remember what I teased? Do you have any guesses what I was possibly hinting at?
Let me think. Yeah, I actually did have a thought when you first mentioned it. 70-year-old figure.
Is it Aunt May?
Sorry. No, I can't remember. What is it?
No, it's not Aunt May.
Dang.
It's Michael Keaton. And if you were dissatisfied, if you were dissatisfied with McFarlane's offering, I have got the cure to what ails you here. This is the Hot Toys Batman. They're calling him the modern suit Batman from the Flash movie. He is going to run you $305. And you'll see what all he includes here. Sorry, Mike. What's that?
That just before you're all finished with this, go back to that other picture of it.
Okay. You want me to go back now?
Yeah, and then I'll throw.
Well, that's the McFarlane figure, right?
That is the McFarlane figure. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That looks like Ray Liotta. Ray Liotta as. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. If this head sculpt didn't nail it for you, how about this head sculpt?
Seriously, that looks like a picture.
Amazing. Yeah, you run into that a lot with the Hot Toys. It's sometimes hard to discern if it's an actual picture. And of course, there's multiple portraits that are included.
That's ridiculous. Worth every dime.
Amazing.
We'll go through some shots here.
I'm hearing pretty good things about Flash as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing too. Light up bat signal base type thing there.
Nice.
That's got to freak Michael Keaton out to look at that. Like it's a little miniature me.
Right. I mean,
even just the stance with that.
Yeah,
weight,
exactly.
You know how kind of stiff he was in that.
Your grandpa's making the same comment. Yeah.
Right.
Here's some. You can swap out the lower the mouth portion to get these different looks.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Sort of.
All right, let's pull our money.
Yeah.
Some more poses in action. Looks like a wired cape to articulate the cape if you want to.
Oh.
A little accessory thing for his helm, his cowl. And there's the whole kit and caboodle, showing you everything that it comes with. So yeah, this is very typical of Hot Toys and their portrait likenesses. It's sometimes crazy how lifelike they look. They announced, I didn't have them on the show, but they had a Palpatine a few weeks back. And part of me, I look at it and I was like, yeah, they nailed it. But a lot of people would throw side by sides. And it's like, yeah, but it doesn't look quite right. Still awesome, but
that's actually what I was going to say. It does. Obviously it looks really cool, but it is a little off from exactly how he looks.
Oh, I don't think so, man. That's exactly to me.
Yeah. I mean, they went hard. They went hard with the wrinkles, but that's, when you see his close up, he's getting weathered and wrinkly looking.
I think I might watch Batman tonight.
Definitely awesome. That's for sure. And incidentally, that's about the same exact price I paid for a full Batman costume in 1990.
And
I
you
think
look
you'll fit into
like
this one.
What was that?
Which one of us? We both
Mike.
talked.
Mike, sorry.
I said, yeah, it made you look just like Michael Keaton too.
Yeah. There we go.
Thank you, Karen.
So to wrap it up, we have another Hot Toys release, and this totally swings it in the other direction. Although it's still movie related, we're going to go Spider-Verse here, and they announced the new Miles Morales Hot Toys figure. He is a little cheaper. He's $285. Because they don't have to do the face portraits, but they are doing some nice portrait work. You'll see here. This is sort of thing where one of the reasons I never really got into the Hot Toys thing, because they're all basically movie related. Well, here we have a animated movie, but they're really nailing it here too, as you'll see. It comes with a little display stand where we got the same sort of thing going on with the Spot character, which we do with the Marvel Legends figure. But here is the out of costume, which I think is even more impressive. Miles in his, street clothes.
Yeah.
This is there's an exclusive version. If you get in your order early, I think it's the first 2 weeks, you get this partially unmasked head. He's lifting his mouth area. Some more shots showing, here he is, same sort of display, but in civilian clothes. Poses. They talk about the fabric. The fabric is translucent, but has like a metallic underlayment, which gives it a neat looking visual.
Very nice.
More Miles shots. So it looks very screen accurate, but it just doesn't give you that same wow factor as when you're looking at, compared to a real actor's face, which Hot Toys is known for. But, equally, they equally quality product here, but just kind of on a different level. Little spider sense effect. And there's his sort of roundup shot of everything that comes. You see all the multiple hands and all the different eyes you can put on them and stuff like that. So yeah, in this one, did I say, a little cheaper, $285, but still, that's Hot Toys pricing for you. It's one of those things, I don't know how, well, it depends on the individual, but I don't know how you could ever be all in on this. But if you really, there was a figure that you really loved, this could be a route to go, like we talked about with that Moon Knight. But this is even more, on an impressive scale. I should have looked that up to see if they did a Hot Toys Moon Knight based on the Marvel, the Disney Plus show. But the price is high, but if you're gonna get like one figure, that might be the way to go. I don't know. But that's it for the Horizon.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, your grandpa was saying, so I didn't even realize how close we were to when the movie's coming out. Is that next week already?
I don't know. Which one?
Apparently your grandpa knows. Yeah.
I think they're both close to coming out. Yeah.
That's the one that the whole family wants to see, Into the Spider-Verse movies. The Flash, I think Cora can care less about that one. So that's why Spider-Verse is on her radar more so.
Oh, so the whole family's in for Spider-Verse, but only you and Mark are in for Flash?
Emily is too.
Oh, Emily.
Cora she doesn't like the superhero movies, but she does like the Spider-Verse movies.
She likes animated superhero movies. Gotcha. June 2nd, Into the Spider-Verse. That's next Friday. Yep.
Jeez Louise. All right.
16th is the Flash.
Oh, okay. So, well, that's good. A couple weeks later. I'm trying to see Guardian of the Galaxy this weekend. We'll see.
Yeah, I mentioned that to Valor too. With him wrapping up school, we might go to the cheap show on Mondays and try to get to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
one of these Mondays.
Yeah, I'm trying desperately to not have anything spoiled for me. It's the internet's making it tough, though. That's for sure.
Right.
Everything starts with Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, pass. All right, awesome though, Pat. That's good stuff. There's no chance anytime soon I'd be able to pick that up, but yeah, that man would probably be one I'd be willing to drop 300 on. And I definitely have these possibly delusions of future hope with all the figures, because I've been very selective of my figures as well. Pretty much, you put Boba Fett, you put Mandalorian, you put Wolverine out, I'm grabbing it. But everything else I'm very selective about. And I've come to the thought that since I am so selective, I only have one of a lot of figures. I want to start a diorama, kind of thing. That would be great, because every time I see those, I follow a few of those that just set up dioramas and post the pictures. And they look so cool. I'm like, yeah, I would totally love to play with that a little bit. It's a way to, that's a perfect way I said it. It's a way to play with them, because I think I've made a joke in the past recently about how, I've tried to jokingly simulate playing like, we used to when we were kids. It's like, what am I doing? It's just dumb. But, setting them up in a cool diorama and taking some pictures and sharing it. That's a way to play with them as an adult that I think could possibly be as fun as well. So we'll see.
You do that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Stay tuned to see if it ever happens. I'll let y'all know.
I'm just going to stick with collecting the cheap comic books. Save my money.
Yeah, good luck with that. If we're talking, are we talking $5 is cheap now? Did you just call $5 cheap?
No, I didn't. In comparison, yeah. But
yeah,
I just try to, I've got to constantly convince myself that I'm collecting, the reasonably priced items.
Fair enough. All right. Are we ready to wrap this up then?
Let's do it.
All right, cool. Incidentally, I didn't tell you guys. You showed that Zelda real quick. I thought Mike for sure was going to mention some about Kirk. I talked to him again. He's having super tragedies with his new house. Like was pipes burst and flooding, and had to replace all the carpeting. It's a wreck. So he's moving again. So I just said okay. I said okay, man. I completely understand. Just let me know whenever you're ready. So
yeah.
So keep sharing those video game things. Kirk's not going to be around for a bit yet, so it seems. So anyway, don't be surprised if even though you hear a Marvel movie sucks, that you might not think it's so bad.
Ryan North, you better get your FF act together because even this longtime fan can't hold on much longer.
Yeah. So after the final season of The Walking Dead, it seems like the dead are still walking.
Yeah. And then on the flip side of what I said, just because something comes out of the gate strong and it's good and you've heard great reviews and you're expecting great things on a new streaming show, it could still suck. So never either side of that coin. You can't count on what you hear,
I feel like somebody's got it. Oh, sorry, we forgot to.
Karen.
Oh yeah. Karen's got nothing anyway. I read her mind. That's why I skipped her. Yeah.
Good.
I feel like I'm stealing someone's potentially better wrap up, but.
Karen's always got to laugh.
Right.
Yeah. So we all knew Skittles were delicious, but we didn't know that they could transform unicorns into friendly mythological beasts.
Facts. We did not know.
I kind of have something in lines with Shazam. Don't watch Shazam Fury of the Gods, but go ahead and watch Shazam Fury of the Gods. You be the judge.
Thank you to the voters for getting Incredible Hulk 340 through to round 3.
Thank you for the voters to voting for Francisco Martinez forward. I'm joking.
Yeah. This isn't a recap or anything, but I just want to remind everybody because it's kind of out of the ordinary. The Maulers play at 8:00 tonight.
I thought it was 9.
That's Central, I think.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, see? You're welcome. You would have missed the first quarter.
And if you want to get some good reviews on some good fresh stuff, I mean, we didn't get a fresh or a good review from Pat this week, but rewind to check out fresh reviews for fresh stories from Whatnot Publishing and Image from me and Mike.
That's it.
Oh, Patrick, sorry, I was jumping.
That's all right.
Newsflash. MODOK is not cool.
Yeah.
He never was.
Yeah, it was.
It was. I think it was an ironic newsflash, Pat. Yeah. All right, your grandpa's chiming in. Glad I tuned in. You'll have a good holiday weekend. You too, your grandpa. I appreciate it. Appreciate you stopping
Thanks for
by.
being here.
Yeah. Pat, did you
That's all
want to be going back to you since he skipped you, or?
No, I said I didn't have anything, so I was good that Mike did skip me.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
You got anything else, Mike?
No, it's on you. I'm done. That's so cool. How did I never do that before? You guys are awesome.
Yeah. That's true. We got to start messing with that.
Right.
Anyway.
Karen, she's over there.
No, Karen's down there. Wait, she's down there. She's way down there.
My screen looks different than yours. My screen's different.
Oh, really? Where do you say she is, Pat?
Well, I have full screen, so I don't see her at all. But I know, I know she's down there somewhere.
Okay. Yeah. What did he say?
Just a couple last things here. So you can never be too old for a new action figure.
I guess not.
And you can never have enough money for all the action figures you want.
That's true, too.
Yeah. So, all right, I guess that'll do it then. All right. Please like and comment on this video right now. Please just do it right this very second. As well as subscribe and hit that bell to get notifications. Please subscribe to Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space on Spotify for podcasters or many other podcast providers. And please listen to the edited podcast of this live stream on Spotify that will be posted later today or tomorrow. Follow XcellarComics on Facebook, Instagram, and or Twitter. And follow Xcellar_comics on TikTok and whatnot. Watch our shows on the Whatnot app weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can bookmark Tuesday's show right now. And incidentally, on my Thursday show, we wrapped up our first mystery lot box. We had a big winner of the first appearance of Carnage 3-book Amazing Spider-Man lot, and a big winner for, speaking of that, your grandpa was the big winner of the Infinity Gauntlet 1 through 6. So we wrapped all that up into a nice little bow and finished that up. So starting Tuesday, we'll have a whole new batch of cool things to win, earn, and buy. So like I said, bookmark that now. And then check out what we have to offer on eBay at Xcellar_comics and on our website at XcellarComics.com. And then watch our next live stream on YouTube. Actually, did you ever chime in on this, Pat, that we need to move next week to Sunday?
Okay.
Mike's got something going on next Saturday. So next week will hopefully be the only time we go back to Sunday for a week. And then the next show after that, whenever that'll be, I'll be back on Saturday. I'm really liking the Saturday morning stuff. Everybody that's willing to hear me, I point out, isn't it cool having something fun to watch early on Saturday? And then, eat your cereal, that whole shtick, but anyway, I'm loving it. But watch our next live stream on YouTube or Facebook next Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. XcellarComics on Facebook and YouTube. So anyway, y'all know that already. So, and then lastly for me, everybody, again, have a great Memorial Day weekend. Remember why we have the time off, and we're able to appreciate everything that hopefully all of us have planned for the weekend. And remember those that paid the ultimate price for us to have this holiday and this great weekend and awesome country to live in. So, do you guys have anything else?
Nope.
It got very dark. You got very dark, Pat. Did you close the shades or turn the lights off or something?
I haven't had a light on the whole time. It must be getting must be some
Oh,
clouds
just the
out
sun stuff.
there.
Okay. Hey, Mike, I meant to ask you about that too. So that's Astrobots in your background there too. That's what's his name? Apollo, right?
Yeah. I think I might keep it or find one very similar because I like it.
It is very cool. It is very cool. So appreciate everybody checking us out. Appreciate you being here for the first time. Your grandpa, hopefully many, many more. Thank you so much for an awesome show. Karen as well. And I'll get better at forgetting to tell everybody you're here, give you a shout out at the beginning of the show. Really appreciate everything you do for the show. So until next time, don't forget that appreciating great art is awesome. And reading a great story is fun. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Xcellar out.